gearing up for war, don't get it mixed up. I come in peace, kid. I'm bringing commentary and the new releases. I put them hours in to get prepared now. We play on expert level, don't be scared now. I'ma destroy you when I'm forced, I can tear it down. If you ain't tuned into the channel, keep your head down. Cut the fix up with some Xbox babies, put the switch up. See me gearing up for war, don't get it mixed up. I come in peace, kid. I'm bringing commentary and the new releases. I put them hours in to get prepared now. We play on expert level, don't be scared now. I'ma destroy you when I'm forced, I can tear it down. If you ain't tuned into the channel, keep your head down.
Yo. Welcome to The Fix. Thank you all for being here. We're joined by three excellent guests tonight. We have with us tonight DC Gaming. DC, what's up, brother?
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Happy to be here. Hope you guys tune in for a great show tonight.
We are trying to transition DC into an X-Bot tonight, so I need all of you. No, I'm joking. But DC, thanks for being here, brother. And guys, if you can hear us in the chat, let us know, because you know how it is sometimes on this thing where it causes us issues. And also we have here for the first time as well, our brother Red Wolf. What's up, Red?
Oh, that's what I always do. I've never done that before. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's your mating call right there, huh?
That's what I do. Yeah, when I need like a drink from the kitchen or anything, my girlfriend, I'm like, oh no, I'm just kidding. She doesn't even live with me. I'm just kidding. I'm single. I'm just kidding. You never know what's true here. Look, I'm happy to be here. I'm excited to talk about Peterman 2.
Peterman
it's
2.
Be good. Yeah.
Peterman and Miles.
Yeah.
Peterman and
Miles.
My
Yeah,
favorite
exactly.
heroes.
Right.
Yeah.
And last but not least, and who will be with us for a short while, but definitely to give his take on Spider-Man 2 and his review, Mr. Badbit himself. Welcome, Mr. Badbit.
I am so ready to talk about Spider-Man 2. Get y'all excited, get y'all hyped. Add some critical critique as well mixed on in here. And, talk about some game news and stuff. Oh my God, Sarah Bond, President of America? What's going on there?
Man, crazy.
President of America.
That's what I heard.
Next.
Yeah, that's next.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to be here, man. I'm excited to talk games with y'all.
Absolutely. Happy to have you, brother. And of course, with my co-host, Daniel McGee. What's up, brother?
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, he sounded like old boy off Dr. Herbert off Simpsons. Hey, everybody.
That's I model my life after him.
Yeah. Not a bad choice, I suppose. Danny, what's been up with you, brother?
Not much. Shout out to the electricians or street workers or whatever you want to call them who have spent the last week not fixing the light right outside my apartment complex that's directly between me and work. I really appreciate the 4 guys who have stood in a circle jerking each other off while the 5th guy does all the work for the last 7 days. That's been great. Big fan. Was almost late to the podcast today because it is still down.
Oh man.
At least as long as he came to completion, I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
To do.
As long as they're pleasing somebody,
Exactly. Yeah.
A job is
They're taking
complete.
turns. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Equal time, equal pay.
Yeah, well, they were all trying to work together at least before you interrupted them, Danny. At least they were trying. Yeah,
that's fair. It's fair. It's
circle
really my
jerk
fault.
Each other off. Exactly. Yeah, what have you been playing though, brother? Have you had a chance to play anything lately, or what?
So I platinumed Spider-Man.
Oh wow, you beat me.
So that's going to be the big one there. And then other than that, it's just been I went back and I did the Separate Ways DLC for Resident Evil 4, which was great.
Nice.
Big fan. I mean, Resident Evil 4 already one of the best games of all time. The remake is just
icing on.
What if that game was new and better again? And then they added in the new DLC, and it's great because they put a lot of the content that they took out of the original game back into the DLC. It's great. I love it. 10 on 10.
That's dope.
Honest to God, I don't think there's been enough love for Resident Evil 4 as
So
someone
good.
who had played the original back in the COVID lockdown. That's the first time I got to play it. And then play the remake. Oh my God, it is just a stellar experience. Like from top to bottom, it truly is one of the best just remakes ever made, let alone just game.
That's
Yeah.
dope. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to
Yeah.
get to it, but I did love the original, obviously. But yeah, I got to give it a chance. So you guys think it's, well, at least, well, you did play it. So you guys think this is better than the original?
Honestly,
I mean-
God, as someone who doesn't have any like nostalgia towards the original, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's definitely better. I think there's definitely room for both, where it's like sometimes, like, I can imagine a world where I'm gonna want to go back and play the old version again just to like get that nostalgia hit.
Right.
But yeah, if I was like, you're playing through the Resident Evil games, I would 100% recommend the remake over the original one 100% of the time. No question.
Nice. Okay, all right. Well, that's pretty good, man. I have to actually get on that. Actually beat. I'm actually far behind. I have all of the Resident Evils except 4. I have 3. I have 2 remake. I have both of those remakes. I have 7 and 8. Haven't played any of them. Like, that's how swamped I've been with other games to get past with my backlog and stuff like that. So it's been crazy for me. But what about you, Bad Bit? What have you been playing outside of Spider-Man, of course, and such?
Literally, that's it.
That's it. Okay.
I got nothing. I got things I've planned to do. So like, honest to goodness, we were lucky enough to get provided a code for Alan Wake 2, and
nice.
I'm not like a big I
fan.
No, I love what Remedy's done with Control. I used to love watching my brother play Max Payne back in the day because I wasn't allowed. I was too young.
Yeah.
So like I really like what Remedy does, and I think they're just such a interesting developer. That being said, I never got to play Alan Wake, but hearing Kyle's take on the game has me so intrigued to jump in. So I'm actually I still, my only question is like, do I start with the first game first, because now that I have some time, or do I just jump right into Alan Wake 2?
I hear
And
you.
Yeah. So that's my only question. It's not a matter of like if, it's just a matter of when, you know?
I hear you.
yeah, I mean, that's a tough question, because like, I mean, the remake or remaster or whatever is there for you, but even then, like, it is like a 13-year-old game. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it might be better just to jump into Alan Wake 2, and then if you love it, go back and play the older one.
That is
I don't
what
know.
everybody's telling me. It's like, just do the Fortnite thing, catch up with the story there, and then jump into it, because you got a taste of it in Control, you know? So like, to me, I'm thinking I'll just jump it right into Alan Wake 2. I think you're convincing me.
Nice. I mean, I'm hearing really great things about Alan Wake 2. We'll get to that, I'm sure, in a
It
second.
looks
but
so good.
yeah, I mean, visually is crazy. I had somebody tell me, the Northlight engine's better than the Unreal Engine 5. It's just such blasphemy. But, hey, it does look good. I'll give it that. I saw the
looks
minimum
really
specs and
good.
such that they need for the PC.
Yeah.
And it's like crazy, like over the top, apparently. Like, you got to have some high-end stuff, it seems like, to really get the best out of this game. But, yeah, what about you guys? DC, what have you been up to? What have you been playing and such? I'm guessing, obviously, Spider-Man being one. But what else have you been up to?
Other than Spider-Man, right now I'm playing Cyberpunk. I'm also finally playing that It Takes Two game that everybody was talking about a couple years ago. That game's actually pretty
man.
dope as
It
long as
is.
you have a good person to play with. And then other than that, I have for the first time ever PC Game Pass and GeForce Now.
Nice.
So I'm planning on eventually getting back to Starfield, and I've been playing a little bit of Forza, which are the first two Xbox games I'm playing. I think we'll probably get into that if you guys are talking about the Xbox first quarter results later, with the announcement that they had their biggest quarter for growth because of Starfield.
Well, like they didn't sell as many Xboxes or something. I don't know. I'm upset about it.
Well, they didn't sell me one because I got the
If you
GeForce
take a
Now
look
and
at this
Game Pass.
chart, it says
But they
something
don't care,
completely
as long as
different.
you're in the ecosystem.
I hate it here.
We'll make a bot out of you yet, DC. Just you keep playing. Yeah.
One day, maybe.
One day. We'll get you one way or another. But Wolf, what have you been up to, brother? What have you been playing?
I have been playing Spider-Man 64. on my phone with an emulator with up-res graphics running at a solid 34.5 p. No,
Only the best of the best for you, I see.
Oh,
So good,
bro,
so
you know
good.
me, man. Top of the line quality. And I play it in the tub, and then I dropped my phone and almost died. I don't know what's happening. No, I've been playing. I've been trying to finish Assassin's Creed Mirage. Just trying to get it done. I have like a weird problem with Assassin's Creed games. Like I have to like 100% them, clear the map. It's not healthy. Other than that, Lords of the Fallen, which has been great, as well as Cyberpunk and The Witcher. Again, I'm back home with The Witcher. My
Can't go wrong with that. One of
my
the best
safe
games ever
place.
made.
Yeah, and man, if anyone hasn't played The Witcher with that next gen update, I'm telling you guys, that camera angle changes everything. It's over the shoulder, offset, close up. It looks like Red Dead 2 or something at first glance. It changes everything. So I won't go.
You already got
on
me
my-
sold. Red Dead Redemption
Bro.
2 is also one of my greatest games ever to me. So
It's insane.
It
Yeah.
is, man. No, that's dope though. I've heard some good things about Mirage. I know Riskit was playing it and such. Like, what's your overall feel for it? You think it's in the series at least? You think it's one of the best, one of the worst? What?
No.
What, Red Dead 2?
No,
It's
Assassin's Creed
Mirage.
Mirage.
Oh, okay. Because I had a hot take.
Yeah.
Oh, don't tell me you
Yeah,
don't like.
it's-
Don't tell me you don't like Red Dead Redemption 2.
Red
now.
Dead Redemption 1 is one of my favorite games of all time. It's literally one of my top favorite games just ever. Like, it's in my top 5.
Yeah.
I am 100. Like, I was number 245 in the world on the online. I was a beast at it. Red Dead Redemption 2 is one of the biggest disappointments in gaming for me.
Whoa.
That's right. Put out the soundboard there. Because here's the thing. In 40 hours, you could watch in less than 2 hours, you could get that 40-hour experience, the same exact story. It's called Tombstone, and they do it better.
Well, wait a
Tombstone's a
minute.
Spider-Man.
Man.
I was gonna say he didn't get
am-
TB in Tombstone though, did he?
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen it. So
Yeah.
Is that actually what happened?
Yeah. What's his face does at the very end?
Wow.
That's how he goes. Billy the Kid, right? Yeah, that's how he goes. So
Oh, damn.
I literally,
I didn't know.
dude,
that.
I hated that I called literally every single thing that was gonna happen, and I'm like, for the love of God, take a risk. Once they go to Peru, I'm like, he's gonna get TB in Peru,
Damn.
and then once he gets TB in Peru off screen, I was like, in this game, I'm gonna beat it
But you know,
because
what's
it's a
crazy?
masterpiece, a mastercraft. But
Yeah. I have
you
a
know.
different take than you, but you know how he actually got TB, right? He got it from doing that collecting when he got it from that older man he was beating up, and his son, his son came to try to defend
He
him.
coughed at him.
He coughed on him. That's what gave him
Huh?
TB.
And see, that's why you should wear a mask.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
True.
yeah.
This
You know?
episode is sponsored by the Pandemic Control Center.
Well, think about it like this: if
This
Arthur
one's
had
been sponsored by
CDC.
Arthur had
Pfizer.
worn the mask, then we wouldn't have ever had to play as Marston, and it would
Yeah.
would have
Right.
been a better game.
There you go. See, by proxy, he brought us Marston with the hat and all, bad bit. So you need to give
Yeah,
Arthur
it
credit.
took him goddamn like 3 hours to do something cool. Oh my god.
That's a good boy. That's good.
And I know I'm the only person that will die on that hill. I'll be the brave one because it is a masterpiece. It's so like to me, it's like if you love it, I'm not gonna yuck your yum any more than I already have.
Yeah.
But like to me, I'm like, all right.
I know some
It's
people like
like
I know
such-
some people like
well put
Zalker.
together.
Zalker, for instance, doesn't like Red Dead Redemption 2, and I just
Okay,
look at
we're
him
gonna
like a
be good
heathen.
friends.
Yeah, see,
See,
but- yeah,
I can respect
Soccer
that,
doesn't
though,
like
'cause-
anything good.
yeah, that's true.
I can respect that though, because I had the exact same thing where I hated Red Dead 1, but Red Dead 2 was like the first Rockstar game I actually really cared about.
Mm.
That's totally different. But I respect it.
I mean, it is what it is.
Hey,
Hey,
it is
you
what
know
it
what?
is.
In Red Dead 2, you get to burn a whole bunch of Ku Klux Klan. So
That's I
I like
love
that.
that
You know
part
what? That
in
is true.
particular. I did
Yeah.
enjoy that part. I won't lie to you. But yeah, but moving back, moving back. But yeah, man, I got to get back into AC too, actually, because I'm actually back on Unity. That's the last one I stopped doing. Like I'm that far back, because
Bro.
yeah, Unity was broken at the time for me, so I moved on to something else. I just never got back to AC. That's the weird thing.
Dude, Unity was one of it, going back now. it still looks amazing. It feels
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
It had that heavy social stealth movement that like Hitman does in the older AC games.
Like how you move through the crowd and stuff you're talking about.
How you move through the crowd and how you have the heavy movement that Red Dead 2 and GTA and stuff do. So like the social stealth movement, I guess, is the best way I can call it.
Yeah.
And it that was the last great. Man, we took that thing for granted. So good.
Yeah, I honestly, patched AC Unity is like top 5 Assassin's Creeds for sure.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Hands down. And
That's
one of
what
the
I heard.
best stories, man. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so emotional. Oh God.
That's what I heard. I want to go to Unity. I think probably during the winter break, that's what I'm going to be doing, because I really enjoyed Mirage, and though it's not like the best in the series, I think it's somewhere in the middle. It definitely fuels my like motivation to go and dive into like the classic Assassin's Creeds,
Nice.
that I've missed. So yeah, Unity's on that list.
Okay. Well, I got to get back. For me, Black Flag is my best in the series.
Oh,
for
yeah.
me.
Oh yeah, so good.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, so we're gonna move into what we call the news roundup. By the way, I have our good brother Wandering Dutch making me and us a nice little transition to the news roundup. I can't wait to see what he comes up with. I'll be seeing it Saturday, so I commissioned him for that. He actually did my intro for this too, like the video for it at least.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
yeah, shout out to Wandering Dutch and shout out to K Asante in the chat. I see you, brother. This Saturday,
Yes.
just to plug myself and him, he'll have me as one of his guests, myself and BitCloud as on the Gaming Circle podcast at what is that? 10 o'clock Eastern? Yeah, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock my time. So if you all can come by his channel and check us out, we would appreciate that too. Just to plug that. But Danny, we're gonna move into the news roundup, guys. And again, this is you guys spit whatever you want to spit on and talk about whatever you want to talk on, and we'll get through this. We gotta kind of keep it relatively swift, I suppose, because we do have some other major topics to talk about tonight.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do we have in the news tonight, Danny?
So the first one, pretty unsurprising here, but Starfield did some really good things for Game Pass. Namely, it was the biggest single day ad for Game Pass. I don't think this is particularly shocking, being as how it is by far the largest game to ever, both literally and in terms of just like public appeal, the largest game to be added to Game Pass. So this shouldn't be surprising, but hey, you know what? It's a good thing. We're all happy.
It's a win, absolutely. Now that's a W right there. I mean, it's
Yeah, for sure.
impressive. We all expected it to do, and this is why we had these discussions on all these podcasts. We were talking about how important Starfield was and how much it mattered, right? And I know you remember, Danny, but we had this heated back and forth, me and you, and we were talking about where it has to land as far as the meta and all of that, because we know how people are going to treat it if it's lower than whatever. And you see, they still did it, even though it got
They
like
still did it.
Yeah, they still did it, even though it had like what, an 83, I think it was 86.
It's really funny because in hindsight, looking back at that, I don't want to say argument because we weren't like mad at each other,
Right.
but looking back at that, we were both kind of right, where it was like,
Yeah.
it was like if it's not over a certain amount, they're going to be really shitty about it. And I think my argument was like, Metacritic's broken. And I think we've also learned that that's kind of true.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, absolutely is. It's a garbage way to judge any. I say this a lot on my podcast. First and foremost, I love Starfield, so awesome to see it do well. It's one of my games of the year. I put on Twitter, I'm like, can I have multiple? Like, is this? Okay, why do we have to do one? Because like this year's just been so.
Oh,
excellent.
I saw that tweet.
Yeah.
Like it's just been too good of a year, and Starfield has been one of the highlights. So like for me, I look at it going, great for that game. I can't wait to see more content for it. When it comes to like Metacritic or whatever, it's always a decent gauge for like first glance. If it's a game that you may or may not be particularly interested in, it's a good like passerby, right. To make a quick judgment. Maybe if you're looking for something like on a sale of some sort, but it's never like the guiding light as to if this game is good or not. I always point to on the trophy room, Ghost of Tsushima is my favorite game of all time. Tied with Bloodborne.
I love that game. I think that actually, I thought, and I've argued this many times, I think that should have won Game of the Year over The Last of Us.
Same. Absolutely same. And so for me, I think that is for me, it's a perfect game. I don't have any problems with it. Like nothing. I love it so much. It's an 82 on Metacritic. How much do I care? Not even in the slightest bit. So like for me, Metacritic is not the end all be all. Whatever, PlayStation fanboy 720 or Xbox fangirl 620 have to say on the matter, I don't care, because I'm just making the judgment call for myself. And because Game Pass is Game Pass, the only investment that I'm putting in is my time.
Mm-hmm.
And what is it, like $18? So at the end of the day, it's not the biggest risk in the world. So
Right.
I'm happy to see it do well.
And I'm with you on that, right? And our debate was like, for me, I'm never going to be like, well, Metacritic said, but
Yeah.
I just know how the audience, our community is, right? And I know how toxic we can be because, and everybody will play into it. Not everybody, but I'm being hyperbolic, but most will say, well, it doesn't matter, right? And I'm not saying this is a shot to you, Danny. I'm just saying in general. I know how people
No,
say
I know.
Like they'll say that it doesn't matter, blah, blah, blah. Why are you fanboys crying over it? Until it's a game they care about. Because the same guys who got on our tails about Starfield, for instance, were the exact opposite when it happened with Spider-Man, and somebody gave it and lowered that score from 91 to a 90 on Metacritic. You see what I mean?
Which, like, not even a big drop, really.
Exactly. 1 point. And they were like, oh, this guy here. So
That's crazy.
yeah, see, right, doing the whole hand circle next to the head. Yeah, so I think people use it. I think the reason why it's become a thing and become so like, what's the word I want to use? I guess polarizing is because of how the fan bases have used it, good or bad.
Yeah.
And that's the bad part about it.
And it's funny because like on the trophy room this week, and I think I put a little bit more thought into it on our Patreon show. It's like we have to ignore those elements. I think our problem is that we see that conversation as like the loud portion. So like we feel compelled to talk about it, where it's like, to me, I think we need to start finding the different angles. It's like, I'm going to ignore what y'all are saying here. Like, I'm going to quickly dismiss it, and I'm going to find my own avenue to speak on this thing, because I genuinely think those forces, as toxic as they are making the whole gaming discourse toxic and tiring, and why I think so many people are exiting out of the space, because it's just too much,
Yeah, I agree with you. DC, what would you say about that? Because I've seen you on the scene on Twitter, of course. You're a good brother. So what, like, for you, when it comes to that type of thing with Metacritic and stuff, does that weigh on you at all? Like, I'm not saying that you have to praise Metacritic or that it matters to the point where you're not going to go play something, but does it feel good to you to see a game that you are excited for score well, or is it like, whatever, I don't care for you?
Personally, I don't really care. I hate a lot of the Metacritic argument, because at the end of the day, most of the time it's a personal opinion. Some of the greatest rated games of all time I don't find interesting, and then some of the ones that have even lower ratings are some of my favorite games that I've liked. So for me, it doesn't really matter, and I also feel like really it's only like that hardcore gaming community where you really see all the toxicity around these scores, where people are trying to throw them in their faces just to improve their list scores. And I think that's what a lot of it is for some people.
No, I agree with you. And there are some games like that, right? Like, I always champion Rise, Son of Rome. Like, I love that game. It has, what, a 67? I don't know, something low. Like 67 or something like that, meta. Maybe lower than that. And I love that game. Mad Max. Love that game. Low score. I know a lot of you guys on the PlayStation side would say 18. What was the name of the game? 18,
Order 1886.
Order
right?
18, exactly.
Yeah.
So so there are some games that score low, but we actually do love despite it. You know what I mean? Despite what the Metacritic would be. So I definitely get that view. What about you, Wolf? Like, what's your thoughts on that? Do you think it matters at all about the meta for anything? Like, I know it's largely used in fanboy console warring, but what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think it's silly. I think DC said it best. It's all just opinions. People absolutely loved The Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
And to me, man, what a beautiful game, great gameplay, and that's it. So
I take it you didn't like the story. too much.
Man, the story was
Not a
the
golf
story was
fan?
Something. It was something. It was something. Just man. And I was like, oh wait, I played it for 0.2 seconds, so I can't get a refund because PlayStation. But
Yeah.
so no, Metacritic. Like right now, I'm looking at Mass Effect Legendary Edition. It has an 87. What the hell's going on with that?
So good.
Mass Effect is the greatest. You were talking about you were talking about Ghost of Tsushima. Mass Effect is my like.
Oh yeah.
It's the greatest thing ever for me. But some people don't like Mass Effect. They would say it has too much talking and it's boring because I just want to fight and shoot and kill, and that's just the type of gamer that they are. It's all about opinions, or if you're in Canada, opinion. So I'm not going to judge, I'm not, but I'm also, if someone says that Spider-Man has a 90 and then that doesn't jive with me, but then Starfield, I've put 300 hours in and it's like, yeah, why does that have a, I don't know. It's all about opinion. So Metacritic has always just been like a, sort of like a place for the media to gravitate to use, to weaponize, to shove in everyone's faces, like you were saying, and it's just opinions, man. Like I don't know, I just don't care. It's silly. It's silly.
No, I hear you on that. The thing too, I would say is like one of the reasons, and I don't want to dwell on this too long, but part of the reason too is I think a lot of people, if we've come to find that a lot of these devs' salaries are dependent upon like the review scores too. So sometimes if they don't score well, they don't get their bonuses. So I think it's also been made important because of that too. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
which is unfortunate, man, because it's like people are like, I mean, I remember, I'll never forget. I'll always remember this. Corey Barlog watching the reveal, or his first look on Metacritic for God of War 2018. And he cried. Did you guys ever see that video?
Oh yeah, and it's
like
like
the Raising Kratos documentary.
No, it was just a video of Corey Balrog. Get a
Balrog's the big dude from Lord of the Rings.
From Lord of the Rings. Yeah,
right. You shall not pass.
But yeah, I love that. Like, to him, it really was important because that was sort of the easiest, quickest way to find the consensus of how people felt about the game instead of going to, So it's important to some people. To me, it's not important to me because, again, like some people like Red Dead Redemption 2 is amazing. I saw someone in chat saying that Red Dead Redemption 2 has horrible controls, and I've heard that a lot. For me, the type of gamer that I'm such like a weirdo for like immersion and walking slow and sitting in chairs and games.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Me too.
It's like I love the heavy movement. Like Arthur Morgan controls like a Pringles can full of wet tomatoes or something. I'm like, but I love it.
I thought it made perfect sense personally. I do hear people's thoughts like, oh, I have to open a drawer and reach in, and I liked all that because it really pulled me into that world and into that character. It really did. So
I really love
about that. Like,
I really love forgetting my long gun on the horse. That was always.
I forgot about that.
Best.
That's a good point. Sorry, especially when a bear starts charging at you, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the Revenant. I love replaying that. Yeah.
I went through some of my Xbox files the other day, right? So I could delete some stuff off of my Xbox video clips, whatever on DVR. And I had one with Arthur, me being attacked with the bear, and that thing tore me apart. I'm like, damn, I didn't remember this part. And he killed me. I thought I killed him, but that was later on after I escaped it. But he tore me apart on one of it. It definitely looked like the Revenant. And whoever that was, thank you for that. Let me see something. Was that a donation? Or was that yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was Epic.
Oh, what's up, Epic? Epic Treasure donates to us, as Boom would say, a generous $7.99 for the serenades. I got you later. I'll make sure to sing something just for you. Maybe we'll get the other guys
super
too.
Chat from Epic Treasure.
Yes, quite. I'll get DC, Bad Bit, and Red Wolf to help, sing back up for me and such. But yeah, what else did we have in the news? Yeah. Warm up in the background.
Yeah, get ready. In other Xbox related news, because there's actually a surprising amount of Xbox news this week.
It is
because their financial reports came out. And what we've learned is hardware revenue is down by 7%, which is not great. But gaming revenue is up by 9%, and Xbox content and services is up by 13%, which makes it, weirdly, even though hardware is down, the highest Q1 gaming revenue in Xbox history. So, like, console down, hardware down, everything else up, money good, I guess.
Money
I don't
good.
know.
Billiard
What am I, an
band.
analyst?
Yeah, that's pretty. Actually, it's pretty impressive. And I think, though, what we're seeing now is that transition, guys. We're seeing that transition from the whole dependent on console situation to the services really taking over, and being on all these different devices. That's the thing we're getting here from that. Because if hardware is that low, you typically just not going to have sales like that. So you got to have one or the other, got to match, right? So I see it starting to play out. Another thing too is once these ABK games hit and Call of Duty starts hitting the service regularly, oh man, can you imagine the next quarter as far as revenue?
Yeah, those numbers are definitely going to start shooting up real fast.
I mean, what is it? Warzone Mobile right now? I saw just skimming on through, 42 million people signed up for the beta. Yeah,
sheesh.
This is what Xbox's goal is, y'all. Like it's like
mobile.
It's about mobile. It's about it isn't about the box anymore. And I feel like if people take it as an insult, it's like Xbox is about the ecosystem and tying you into it.
I think the reason people take it as an insult is because they hear it's not about the box and they think that like, oh, the box is going away. And they make it very clear in like everything they've said for the last year that like console is still very important to them. It's still like their central thing. And they want to continue making hardware. I think in one of the other things that I have on here, Satya Nadella was talking about, I'll just bring it in here. He was talking about how they're doubling down on games. And one of the things that he was really, they are now going to be one of the largest publishers, and also they are a platform. They are their own platform.
Yeah.
And so like the box isn't going away. It's just like we have so many other areas where we can grow, and probably faster.
And that's not it's to me, it's like the weirdos online that take that as an insult. It's like, yes, it's not all about you. Again, it's about getting someone on mobile, about getting someone on PC, getting someone on their tablet, getting someone on the cloud, getting someone on the console. And that all together is how Xbox is going to succeed. It is not about being number one. I think Phil really laid that down really well back in May, right? It's like, it is what it is. The console space, you've seen it. Like, real talk, guys. Xbox has made every great move this generation, and it hasn't really moved the needle.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
So it's about them going into other spaces and doing well in them. Like, yeah, they could be number one in the mobile space, or they could be number three. As long as you're doing well in Xbox land, as long as you're doing well in PC, whatever, then that's fine. And for Xbox and Microsoft, it gives them really great opportunity for growth points in various sectors. And if you are a big multi-international company, or just company in general, you like those unexplored or barely or scratching the surface of markets so that you can find more growth there. So to me, that's how I always saw it. It's not about the box. It's really about that webbed ecosystem, for lack of better words.
No, I think you make perfect sense there. And the thing too is that I think why a lot of people get up in arms is because it took some time for some Xbox fans to kind of get with the program and say, you know what, I see the vision. But a lot of people, because of the console wars, they'll use this to say Xbox is going to be a third party, publisher. That's why some people get up in arms too, because they're like, they have to argue against that narrative they feel. And I think, they start to fall for it themselves, because I've seen a few. Believe it or not, on the Xbox side of things, as far as fans go, who were like, well, why are they doing this? It's like, why are you worried? Like,
why do you care?
Yeah, why? Like, you're worried about the wrong thing, So they're not going out of it. And like you said, Danny, everything that they've talked about, as far as Satya, whether it's him or Phil, they've reassured fans, we have consoles coming in the future. We're not stopping that. Hardware is still coming, So I think it's much ado about nothing, honestly. but definitely services such like you pointed out, Bad Bit, are definitely picking up, and it's going to be their aim. Their aim is to get people on a service. That's just, it is what it is, and it's going to pay off for them too, as we already see it's doing. You know.
Yeah.
But what else did we have in the news, Danny? Well, at least not what else.
To bring in
The
some
next-
other aspects of just to bring in some other aspects of that Saudi Nadella interview that he did recently. He just said that they were going to be doubling down on games, both as a producer and a publisher. And he didn't say it directly, but the way that he said it really makes it sound like we should probably be expecting both more acquisitions and more like third-party exclusive type deals, like a contraband type situation. And then the quote I pulled, which we already kind of talked about, was, now we'll be one of the largest game publishers and also as a company that's building platforms for it. So he's, again, it's a situation where like they've got the games, they love that they're a platform for it, they're finding other places where they can grow.
And they talked about having, Satya mentioned 13 franchises that is
13
made over
billion
$1 billion.
dollar franchises.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's actually because Derek Strickland spoke on it, and he did the numbers because of now them having ABK. It's now 17. They have $17 billion franchises now.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. So
I want to know what those are, because I couldn't find a list of that.
I wanted to.
I can guess most of them.
I think he has it in his article, but I didn't look
okay.
through it properly at the time. So, but I took his word for it. I'm like, okay, I'll take your word. But yeah, I mean, that's crazy to me. Also, I want to point this out. Like, I hear the numbers, like you pointed out the mobile as far as what Warzone has. I think Bad Bit said it. And I get a little salty because I start to think, man, I sure wish Halo had some of those numbers right now to take them back to our heyday and golden age. But, and just to shout out Halo. Halo has been spectacular lately, especially season 5. If you all have not played it in a while, give it a try. Really, really solid. And of course, we're going to have our community game nights again with it. But man, top notch. But also, didn't Benji Sales, didn't he speak on it as well with this situation?
Yeah, I had that somewhere else. Let me see. Benji.
So the first one I know he spoke on was definitely, he spoke on Satya announcing that the earnings call that Starfield had launched made it launch
I mean, he said a lot of the same things. Yeah, he said a lot of the same things that we said, which is basically just like, it's weird and probably not great that console revenue was down. But Starfield did make a ton of revenue in sales, like a surprising amount, like even surprising to Xbox or Microsoft, apparently a surprising amount of income from sales. To the point where it wildly exceeded their expectations for what they were expecting for that game to make. And he just goes on to say, like, even though they were down in some sectors, this was their best Q1 of Xbox's history.
Now I see, I know I shared with Post, we'll save that for the last part to discussion of the day. But what else did we have in the news?
So I've got the Xbox restructuring. I'm not going to read the whole memo that he put out, although it is really interesting, basically top to bottom, and I think gives a really great understanding of exactly how wide and intricate the sort of Xbox leadership structure here is. But the big takeaways are Matt Booty has been promoted to president of game content and studios, which seems to mean that it's basically the same job that he has now, except that they are like building up a team underneath him to help him out with it, especially, which is good, especially because he will now also be covering ZeniMax, and they'll be bringing the ZeniMax and the Xbox proper teams together in a more like tightly knit collaborative situation, which is really cool. Although Jamie Leader is remaining president of ZeniMax, so she will still be there for, I guess, being maybe a middleman or like doing, I don't know exactly what the difference between what she does and what he does is.
I'm
but
guessing it's like
both.
The situation with Mike Ybarra, for instance, with Blizzard. Maybe something like that,
where he was. Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, it's interesting too, because they highlighted that this is the first time that leader, or at least I guess leadership in general, has had, I think, a 50% split with male and female leads.
Yeah, and it'll actually be it'll be one person more female than men
Male.
after Bobby leaves.
Yeah.
Well, assuming that they
Replace him with
assuming that they don't replace him. If they
Oh.
replace him with a guy, then the numbers would stay the same. If they
There we
replace him with a woman, then it would be 2 up.
Yeah, he leaves this year at the end of the year. Now some
Yeah,
people
in the
some people
memo,
had
they
thought-
double down on that.
They-
Even.
they-
Yeah, they're
Hey,
like,
look,
until
he's out of
November
here.
2023.
right.
Yeah.
Don't
No,
get-
that's awesome.
Yeah.
You don't really see that in the corporate structure, and to have that be something that is cognitive for Microsoft and for Phil to really look at, going, hey, listen, we want our heads of this organization to represent not only the people that work here better, but also gamers that play games. So that's really awesome to see when it comes from, adding people of different sex backgrounds, races, all that such. You get different perspectives of how people look at the world and look at value and look at creativity. So that's only a good thing.
Yeah, and another place where you see that a lot in this same memo is Sarah Bond was also promoted to basically president of Xbox, actually literally president of Xbox.
Yeah.
In terms of platform and hardware, I'm not sure exactly how much she's in charge of software. It seems like her and Matt Booty are sort of on even level, but she's like
speaking
more
of
public
that
facing.
too,
I don't really understand how that works.
I'm a little confused by that too. And also I have it on
Yeah.
the screen right now where they have this kind of, I guess, hierarchy chart. I see Phil, for me at least, when I see this, and you guys,
Phil's
tell
on
me,
top.
Phil's on top, right? As he should be, right? As a CEO. But then I look down and I see Matt Booty. Then I see Sarah. So I'm wondering, does that throw a little monkey wrench in our thoughts and the fan base that Sarah will be taking over for Phil? What are you guys' thoughts on it? And all you all feel free to chime in. And chat, what's you guys' thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's one of those situations where, first of all, I don't necessarily expect Phil to retire anytime soon. I think that he really
hope
enjoys
not.
what he's doing.
Yeah.
But even if he does, I think Sarah is probably like the crowd favorite, but I also wouldn't be mad if Matt Booty took over. Like, they both do good work. So yeah, I don't know. I think right now the fact that they've just restructured does make me think that the other aspect that we were looking at, where it was like, oh, who's going to take over Activision Blizzard? It's not going to be either of them because they like just moved into a new position.
Right.
So that would be the part that I think is more in flux. But I think by the time Phil retires in 5-6 years or whatever, it'll be more clear as to like who the successor is. Although I still kind of feel like it's Sarah.
I think it's Sarah too.
Yeah.
What about you guys, DC and Red? What's your guys' thoughts on that? Who would you want to take over Xbox as well, if it's not between Matt and Sarah, I suppose?
I just want to see like a trailer of Phil Spencer handing over the reins. He goes and he sits down at a bar, and he sits down beside a lady, and he says, "I'll have a martini, shaken a lot,
Not stirred.
not stirred."
Yeah.
And then he turns over. He's like, "What's your name?" She's like, "Bond, Sarah Bond." And she got the tag of head of Xbox. It would. I wouldn't put it past Microsoft to actually have like a trailer announcing her being head of.
Actually, I wouldn't either. I can actually see them doing that. Not
'Cause
as
they're-
not as
they
dramatic
make it
as you just
fun.
made it, of course, but I can definitely.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hope it's exactly that dramatic, if not
Yeah.
more.
I would love that. I would love that. Yeah, I mean, you guys, I mean, Umbra, you know me. I don't. I should. I don't pay as much attention to the political side of gaming, but from what I know, Sarah Bond is really passionate and she's very energetic, and she's really passionate about what she does. As far as gaming goes, and Matt Booty, obviously, he's got Booty in his
He's got the
name,
booty.
which is really
Yeah,
fun and
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And so yeah, there's
Sure.
a lot of changes coming, and like Bad Bit was saying, there's more sex in Activision Studios, so that's good.
It's a fun way to put it.
More sex.
Uh,
Stupid.
Yeah,
Actually,
so
speaking
we're
of
looking
Activision,
at
there's
a
a problem
bright
there,
future.
but
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
previous problem. Yeah.
Oh,
the
right.
bit that
shit.
moving quickly on. The bit
Cosby
that I
room.
wanted to
Yeah.
bring up about specifically about Sarah Bond is that she has like a sub team underneath her because she's president, obviously. Like, so this is I guess her cabinet, if we want to call it that.
Mhm.
And you'll notice that not a lot of white dude names here, which is I think probably a good thing.
Yeah.
So you've got Ashley McKissick, who's corporate vice president. of player experiences and platforms, Kareem Chowdhury, CVP of Xbox Emerging Technologies, Rowan Sones, of Corporate Vice President of Gaming Devices Ecosystem, Lori Wright, CVP Partnership and Business Development, and Kevin Gammill, CVP of Ecosystem Products. So like maybe one white dude in that group. And that's cool. Like it's cool that there's such a different group underneath her than we're used to seeing. I mean, some of those names we know, obviously, like Lori Wright, we've heard a million times. Kareem Chowdhury, we know him from like E3s from years ago. He's been there forever. But it's cool to see like voices of different cultures and different backgrounds being represented on the highest level in this company. I think that means well.
No, that's pretty dope. You know, I like I say though, I look at this chart, man, and outside of Bobby and DC and Red and Bad Bit, what would you guys thought of once they replaced Bobby? Who would you think? Because we talked about this before, and I speculated and gave some kind of fantasy pick, and I said, what if they went after a Sean
Jim
Layden?
Ryan.
No, or Jim Ryan. Somebody actually floated Jim Ryan, actually. So
He'd be the perfect man for the
no
job.
lie, I think, and actually, I think he would do a good job actually with it. But yeah.
I think Sean Layden is very much against this type of consolidation, is kind of warned against it, so I don't think he'd be the right fit for it, though. I
maybe
give a lot. I respect it. Yeah, I respect him.
Yeah. Give him enough money. But you know, it's funny when I hear that from him though, because he work at Tencent. How does that work?
That's true too. Yeah, that's a good point.
It's so odd to hear that from him. It's like, this consolidation lacks creativity. Gonna stifle it.
And honestly, as long as like the whole thing that like it's like bittersweet because he is a giant piece of shit garbage person. So like him being gone is great. It just sucks that he's getting a golden parachute to leave. That's always the thing that's a big bummer. Man. But literally anybody could do that man's job better than him and be a better person while doing it. So anyone, fuck Bobby Kotick. I have no respect for him, and I hope once he gets that money, he trips and like it's in public, and he really eats shit when he does
He's
it.
carrying it in like a novelty bag with a $1 sign on
Yeah.
it, and it goes all up into the air, and all the people that he's abused grab it like $1 million sweepstake.
Yeah,
I was like, he's holding a coffee, getting into his Ferrari, heavy cream coffee, and just trips inside of his car. It gets all over everything.
Exactly. And then someone kicks him in the nuts. So like that's all I want from him. But other than that, again, I can't stress enough, man, to see a list of different faces being in charge of this outfit. It's awesome to see. So good on them.
Yeah, it is. And like you were pointing out with Yusuf Mehdi, he had been there with them since what, 92? Yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
92.
I've definitely seen him on multiple E3 conferences. Like that name sounds very familiar.
Yeah.
I want to say Yusuf Mehdi, it might not be the best place to bring him up from. I'm pretty sure he's the TV guy.
You know
I'm
what?
pretty confident that's that guy.
I think you're right, actually.
Yeah.
Damn you, Yusuf. No, I'm joking. You messed us up. No, joking. But seriously, he's being replaced too by he named him. I forgot. It's looked like a Japanese brother. I think it was Takashi.
There's a guy named Takeshi something. I forget what his last name was, but he's moving into a marketing position, like a CMO sort
there
of
it is.
thing.
There it is. Takeshi Numoto. He's been at the heart of the cloud transformation, says Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella in an internal memo to employees. I'm thrilled for him to step into the CMO role for Microsoft and drive our vision forward. So, yeah. Oh, but wait a minute. That's for officer. That's for Capicella, though.
Yeah, Chris. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to say.
So yeah, I don't
I'm
either.
sorry.
I guess it's Capicella.
Sorry, Chris.
Capicella.
That feels right.
Yeah. So yeah, okay. Well, shout out to everybody, and much love to everybody who got their comeuppance. I feel good to see this such like Xbox news like this and this reorganization. Yeah. It does really feel like Xbox has things going in the right direction. Personally.
Well, it was also nice to see the word like restructuring and not also see the word like 200 laid off, which is something else that we've seen a ton of this year. And to be fair, I wouldn't be surprised if Xbox does have layoffs at some point this year after all this acquisition. And that's going to suck.
Yeah.
That's going to suck. But wouldn't be surprised. Like everyone else is laying people off. Like I don't see any reason why Microsoft is going to be immune to that.
I would expect next year probably
So it
we'll
just
hear
sucks.
about it more, I guess. But I'm with you. I think we will hear about it at some point because there's going to be some redundancies, right? So
You have to assume, yeah.
Especially with
unfortunately.
Activision being such, and even with like the Bethesda side of things.
Yeah, now that they're
I'd
bringing
be
him in
very
closer.
surprised. Like I was like, "Whoa, Pete! Well, wasn't that Pete Hines' job?" Like there was like a lot of. I'm not
Yeah.
a big Xbox guy, so I honestly don't know. So like to me, it's like, yeah, you're gonna see redundancies. This is the the cool stuff is happening. The shitty stuff's gonna happen in a few months afterwards,
Right.
which is a giant bummer.
Yeah.
And you're seeing a lot of it in the big sector jobs that have just overhired for COVID and overhired when it came to how do we work from home, how do we do a hybrid situation, and now they're starting to see, oh, we don't need as many people as we once did. And
Right.
for me, that's again, it's a bummer. It's the sad reality of the situation.
It is. You know, it's something I thought that was kind of odd, by the way. And maybe I had Everborn's tinfoil hat on for too long. It's tinfoil goofy. But Matt Booty moving up to the position he has now, where he's going to be overseeing also as a liaison. Not a liaison. That's not the right word for him because he's over them as far as ZeniMax.
Yeah, he's their boss.
Do you think, you guys think, and this was just floating this before we move on, but do you think maybe tinfoil hat now? I'm just speculating. Do you think maybe that is why Pete may have left? Like he was like, nah, I'm not feeling this. I didn't like what you all were doing before. I didn't like the
It's
lack
possible.
of communication. You know what I mean? What do you think?
It could be.
You worked there for a while.
Yeah, I think it's definitely maybe a factor. Like he would have known that this restructuring was coming, and maybe he was like, "This feels like just another point in favor of
Right.
maybe I should move on to the next."
That's my thinking.
But I think if he would have stayed, he would have been in that Jamie leader position. I don't know if she's officially taken over his role or not. I don't know the officials on that. But I think he would probably be in the position that she's in right now of just president of ZeniMax. Because I think that's the position he was in before. I might be wrong. I honestly don't really know.
He moved up because he had just moved up because he had got the promotion just a year ago.
Yeah, he got promoted. It was part of a sort of lighter restructuring that happened after the Bethesda acquisition finished, and also because their president passed away, unfortunately.
Right.
So a lot of things had to move around in that case.
Yeah, he was.
But yeah, I think it's just another thing where he's like, a lot of things are changing right now, and I think this is a good time for me to go and volunteer my time saving dogs or whatever he's doing.
Yep.
Yeah. He was as his last title was head of publishing. Before that, he was SVP of global marketing and communications. So yeah. Well, I guess we'll hopefully it pans out right. So Phil Spencer also gave a memo on the situation about the leadership change, and this is way too much. This is way too much to read. But do you have anything in front of you? Want to get a snippet or two from that?
No, that's where I was pulling all the other stuff from.
Oh, okay.
It's because the thing he wrote was like 7 or 8 paragraphs, and we just don't really have time to go through all of that.
Way too.
But
much.
it was a lot of like, there's a lot of other people, like names that we don't recognize moving into higher positions or maybe lateral positions. There's a lot of movement going on right now,
and not in a good way.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's definitely good for Sarah. Like she's getting a promotion for sure.
Yeah, I'm happy for her. I honestly think she'll be taking over for Phil once he leaves, though. I'm just like I said, I see that chart. I'm just thrown off by it.
She's
Matt
well liked.
above
She's
her.
already a public face. Like it makes sense.
Yeah, I can see it. But so what else do we have in the news, brother?
The Metal Gear Solid collection is apparently not optimized very well. Apparently, it runs quite poorly. In fact, this comes by way of Destin Legary's Twitter. I assume he also posted it somewhere on IGN, but this is where I saw it. He basically says the PC version runs really bad, but they're looking into it. The console versions apparently run worse than the 360 collections, the 360 PS3 collections that had come out, which I don't know how that even happens. Apparently, they've capped the original resolutions, so they can't even take advantage of the power of the new systems, which is really stupid to me. And on the Switch side of things, the physical edition doesn't have the games on it. There's 2 gigabytes on the cartridge and a 32 gigabyte download, which I didn't know this. 32 gigabytes is also the full storage size of the Switch, meaning if you wanted to install the entirety of this game, if you want to download the whole thing, which you do, normally apparently for Switch games you don't install it, just plays off the cart. But if you wanted to install this game, which you have to do because they didn't bother to put it on the cartridge, you would need an external, like a secondary SD card to hold it, because some of that 32 gigs is taken up by the operating system.
Wow.
So you literally cannot have the whole thing installed on a base Switch, which is awesome. Cool. Love that.
How did they turn in a worse product than the previous one?
No,
It's Konami.
That's
and then just like
fair.
Yeah.
the only other thing here is it's got frame rate issues on all platforms. But yeah, it's just I don't know how this happened.
And
I
resolution
genuinely
too,
don't.
right? Because Metal Gear
Yeah.
Solid 2 and 3 were locked at 720 internal, although they advertised it as 1080p.
They're gonna have to fix it.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, if you're really
Don't
excited
buy
for
this
this, like I was, don't buy it right now. At
Yeah.
least wait until they fix it, which
Yeah.
hopefully
This
will
is
be
this
soon.
is gonna be, which sucks because I fell in love with Kojima's works with Death Stranding, and I wanted a reason to jump back into Metal Gear. And one person yelled at me once. They're like, "How are you running a PlayStation show? You never play Metal Gear." I'm like, "Because when Metal Gear came out, I was 6 years old."
That's fair.
You goddamn tool. Anyway,
I think that's a
So-
lot of things a lot of people don't realize. A lot of people didn't get to play a lot of these older
Yeah.
games.
Mm-hmm.
I was 6. I'm sorry, political espionage wasn't on
Yeah.
my must.
I was
you know,
playing Putt
play
Putt
thing.
Saves the Zoo.
I was playing Mario 64
Yeah, I was
and
playing
shitting
Barney
my
Kills
pants in
Everyone.
second grade. That's what I was doing. I was sick that day. My
Hell
parents
yeah.
still forced me to go in. So
sounds like my parents, yeah.
yeah. So for me, I can't wait to not shit my pants. Play this probably in January where it's all fixed up in like $20. You know.
Yeah.
So that's this is a deep sell. This is not a $60 game, but any stretch.
No, I agree with you. And I feel also too, when it comes to these collections, unless you're like giving us some type of remake, I don't see how you can even charge that type of price for it, being honest. It seems
I think
a
in
little
this case
outdated.
they get away with it a little bit just because it's so many games. The part of it that annoys me more than anything else is that when they were leading up to the release of this, they delisted the existing 360 ones. And it's like you removed something that we already had access to. I already have on disc, which I think actually I can still use the disc. I'll have to double check that, but I don't know. But they delisted it so you couldn't buy it. And now they've put out the same thing again. And the assumption was it was going to be better, but it's somehow worse. Like, what? How did you do this? And why?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I know I've seen some people who posted getting it and regretful that they got it. And I saw some who were like pulling up old PlayStation 3 collections and stuff like that or whatever, or PlayStation 4, whatever it was I saw. But yeah, it's just not a good look. And Konami, they've been out of game. I think the game's too long. So maybe this is just them being clumsy. But it seems like things have been going wrong ever since they did what they did with Kojima. Just things haven't been going right for them.
Yeah, I don't know. Konami is making some choices. Although apparently I don't know if they're the ones making it. I don't know who's making the Metal Gear 2, or is it the Snake Eater like remake, Delta?
Yeah.
I don't know if Konami's making that, but that still looks good. So like
It
hopefully
is.
they don't drop
It
the
is.
ball on
It's
that one.
Konami, and I forgot the other studio name. I actually got it in my notes. It's Konami, and let me see really quick. Sorry about the silence.
No, you're good.
Enjoy the silence.
There you go. Now you've sung for Treasure.
There you go, epic. I may do on my promise. Yeah, it was. Okay, I deleted their name. Oops.
Whoops. Either way,
But it is
like, that
definitely
still looks good.
internally Konami's team, but I forgot their name. It starts with
Yeah.
a V. I cannot
Are
think of
they-
it right now.
Because I knew they
Virtuous,
were
Virtuous.
Virtuous. That's it. Thank you.
That's you're
Yes.
smart. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so they're working on that. Are they also doing the Silent Hill remake? I should stop asking questions that are going to require someone to look something up.
Yeah.
Who's working on that? I don't know. But
Bloober team.
anyway,
There you go.
that's right.
Gotcha.
That is Bloober Team.
That's
That's why I was
right.
like kind of
Unfortunately.
wishy-washy on it.
Yeah, I don't
Oops.
trust them to turn in a good game.
Not really.
Either, being
I mean,
honest.
you would think that they'd be able to do this one right because it's just like it's a remake. You just color within the lines,
Mhm.
but like also they just put out this collection and shit the bed. So who knows?
But also too with Bloober, like the entire game of theirs was ripped off somebody else. Like, did you guys see that?
Which one? Medium?
The other one. What's that? They got like a
Blair
remake
Witch?
for it. The
Small?
layers of fear.
Oh yeah, Layers of Fear 2, right?
yeah.
Or something like that, yeah.
Entirely taken from, like, it's a video out, and the person
Sick,
breaks
dude.
down the entire thing of what they ripped from somebody else, and I was like, wow, like it was
Yeah.
blatant. Like,
Dude,
so-
I love perjury. It's my favorite crime.
Yeah, right. So
It's a form of flattery.
Yeah,
You should
right.
believe me.
right. What else? We also know, just to throw it out there, we hit the October. They announced Xbox at least that an October update is coming where they're going to have keyboard mapping for the controllers, and they're
Yeah.
going to have allow us to edit and clip champ. Although they don't have it
That's great.
integrated, I wish they would integrate it. And
Yeah.
because one thing I stand by, and I hate to do it, but Xbox is far behind now on the DVR side of things when it comes to them versus Sony.
Well, just in sharing in general, is because I mean I know why they did it, but like also not being able to share directly to Twitter is like that sucks ass.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know. Hopefully they're able to get this clip champ thing working in a way that feels good, and hopefully maybe can also come to some kind of a deal with Ellen to get us back on direct share to Twitter or something without having to pay out the ads for
Did you
it.
call him Ellen?
I called him Ellen.
Yeah, that's what I thought I
Uh,
heard. Ellen, we're being a
Can we all
degenerate.
now finally admit that man's an idiot?
Yeah,
Like, he's like a
I don't know
smart
about
dummy.
finally. I've been saying it since
I've learned
Yeah,
that a
since,
while
like,
back. Yeah.
SpaceX started not doing anything good.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Don't
it's
call me on X, by the way, guys.
Don't call
You have
me
no
on it.
goddamn
Uh,
right.
I do have one friend who, when you say Twitter, he'll be like, "What's Twitter?" I'm like, "Shut the fuck up, Steven."
God bless. No, God bless.
Steven.
Damn it, Steven. But what else did we have, Denny?
I grabbed some reviews for Alan Wake 2. Brad Norton from Dextro gives it a 10 and says, circling back to everything that made the original shine while adding not only new gameplay innovations but captivating new characters, marks a bold step forward for the series, for Remedy, and the industry at large. Alan Wake 2 is keep you hooked from start to finish and leave you with a little darkness you'll be thinking about for years to come. Cameron Waldrop from Twinfinite gives it a 9 and says the 13 years the sequel took have resulted in a game that is fun to play and furthers not only the Alan Wake lore but also makes me incredibly excited for where this universe goes with Control 2. While my playthrough hit a snag that's since been fixed, I can still honestly say the rest of the game was a delight to play. If you've done all you can in Resident Evil 4 Remake and are looking for the next great survival horror to dig your teeth into, Alan Wake 2 is it. And then the last one I pulled here, I can't give an accreditation to it because they didn't put a name on it, but it's the lowest. I always try to grab the lowest reviewed one on Metacritic just to like get the full spectrum. This one comes from Metro Game Central. They gave it a 6. But
Oh, not Metro.
yeah, I know. The person didn't even bother putting their name on it. So like, I don't know how seriously we can take it, but it says a peculiar sequel that at times seems to be purposefully undermining the best elements of the original, but it still gets just enough right to please both existing fans and potential newcomers.
So that's interesting.
So
the
yeah, it doesn't-
overall meta for it is 89, and the
Yeah.
OpenCritic is 93. At least the last time I looked, it might have changed by now.
right now it's an 88 on
88.
Metacritic.
I went down a point. Is it still 93 on Open?
I don't have OpenCritic open, but I can find it.
Yeah, that's no worries. But so either way, it did well as far as reviews go. I guess it's the
Yeah.
bigger thing. You know, it's interesting. I mean, 13 years since we had the last game. 2010 was when the first game came out.
Yeah.
So 13 years before a sequel. That is crazy. For it to do so well as far as, you know, reviews go and critically, that's impressive alone.
It's already installed on my Xbox. Like I'm ready to go.
Already,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm right now trying to look at like because I got the PlayStation Stars thing. Might as well use
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also use my rewards points for it.
Yeah,
For
I'm like,
Xbox. I was like,
Why not?
look, man, I know I just spent full money on Spider-Man, but also, am I gonna double dip this month? Yeah, turns out I am.
Yeah.
So
Dude.
I'm alone with this. I am a huge Alan Wake fan. However, where I'm alone is that I support physical media. And
Oh no, it does bother me deeply.
it's I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait, man, because someone's gonna do it, and I don't know. Someone's gonna do it. And I'm just gonna wait. I want to play it right now. I'm
Mhm.
so excited to play it, but and I'm not like an activist. Like I know I'm not gonna like change the world
No,
by
yeah.
not buying it. I know that,
Yeah.
but I just for my own like I'm actually currently playing through the remastered again. with my partner, and she's like, "This is amazing. This is like Stephen King." And I was like, "Exactly,
It's exactly what it is,
exactly." Yeah,
Does the
she got
remaster
it.
have American Nightmare in it?
No, that's something that they talked about. They came out with some reasoning for not putting the
Yeah.
it was just like it was a task enough to get the remaster out pretty much
I guess that's
to,
fair.
to build hype for the sequel. And so they were like, whatever, you can just buy it on the 360 version or whatever. Which you can play it backwards compatible. You were asking about a disc about Metal Gear. I don't know why I'm just saying. Yes, you can use it and it'll work.
That still works even though they delisted
It still works.
Sick,
Yes,
dude.
it still works. Yep.
I knew I cut that shit
anyway.
for some reason.
So yeah, I'm excited to play it, and I'm sure I might just break down and just buy it because it just looks so good. All that black and red and everything. Oh, just like
Right.
love it to me.
I got a good brother and friend, Captain Yak on Twitter. He has been calling for this game to be game of the year well before reviews came out. He kept talking about it and championing it. So I'm happy for him that it's actually reviewing well and such, and I hope it turns out
looks
nice.
So good.
It does look good, but
That
like I said,
gameplay
the
they showed
specs
at the
for this
Xbox
thing,
yeah. Oh yeah.
specs are crazy for this thing.
I
by
just
the way.
got a new PC and it like is just a little bit above that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh damn.
You just made it.
And I'm
Yeah,
also in the minority.
so
I'm
go for it.
really curious. I'm sorry, just real quick. I'm
Okay.
really curious about your guys' opinion on Control with this whole universe. I really wanted to love Control. I felt really claustrophobic playing that game.
Mhm.
And it just I feel like I should just go back and just watch it, but I seriously, the combat I was not great at. It was really all over the place for me.
There's a
I put
steep
it on
learning curve
one-
on Control. in my
Yeah, man. Like I'm gonna be honest. I put it on the one hit kill mode. I went invincible. I just went just to like play it through with story and just really uninterested. And maybe it was just where I was. You know, you guys have been there. It's like
Yeah.
you go to play a game, you
yeah,
weren't there.
it sometimes
mentally.
just doesn't hit the way that you expected it to.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Sometimes
everyone's
it
like
is.
the lore of the universe, and now I'm interested in Control again. So I'm like, I gotta go back.
I did really love it, but like I don't know if it wasn't speaking to you on like the story level, that for me is probably the best part of it. Like it does some other really impressive things. Like I think the powers are really
Yeah.
cool to play around with, and like visually, I think it was one of the first ones to have full ray tracing or something. I might be misremembering that. But like it did a lot of really impressive things. But if you're not interested in just like the story of the game and what you're doing in there, then like the rest isn't gonna really swing you over.
Gotta
I don't
change
think.
that now.
So
Right.
so to move forward, did we have any other major topics, Danny?
No, make sure you check out this week's episode of the Trophy Room where Kyle and I break down Alan Wake 2 because he says it. This is a visual spectacle. Like this is the most beautiful next gen game he has laid his eyes on. So
Wait a minute, even beating out like Horizon Forbidden West?
that's what he says. Listen,
Oh, wow.
that's what he says. He's
Oh.
like, and he's like, I can't wait for the photo mode to come out because it's like every moment you could take a picture.
Wow.
Like it could be in the press kit type of deal. So
all right.
That's what I like to hear.
Photo
Kudos,
mode.
kudos.
Baby.
But yeah, I've just got one more thing here. If you, well,
Yeah.
one thing, and then one that we don't need to comment on because it was barely an announcement. The Fallout show got a release date. It's coming out April 12th, 2024. We still haven't technically gotten a trailer for it, even though it leaked. I don't know. The leaked one looked good, but who knows? Who knows when we'll get the full thing? Maybe Game Awards, maybe not. But I'm looking
Makes
forward to
sense.
that show. Hopefully, it's good.
Yeah.
And
VGAs
then
makes
the one
absolute
bit-
sense for sure.
Yeah, I would think that would make sense, right?
Yeah.
And then the one bit of non-video game news that I have here is the Marvels, the movie coming out in like a week here, is
No,
not.
I'm so disconnected from MCU right now.
Yeah.
I had no idea that was coming out.
Oh yeah, it's like November.
I had no idea either. That's
Yeah.
wild.
November
or something?
10th.
I
Yeah.
don't even see any marketing for it. That's
Me
that's
either.
wild.
Yeah, well, they might have sort of scaled back the marketing on it on account of their apparently expecting it to bomb. Internally,
Oh.
Disney is, quote, bracing for disaster. It was originally delayed from summer to November due to poor screenings, and it seems like they haven't really been able to fix that. Internal predictions are that it'll be the lowest draw of the entire MCU at a $50 to $75 million opening weekend,
Mhm.
which just sounds like not the lowest amount of money, but it is the lowest for the MCU. And apparently between this and Brie Larson just being kind of difficult to work with, it seems like.
Mhm.
She might
Yeah.
not stay in the role for long. Apparently she's recently had like real big fights with Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth,
How do
Jeremy
you
Renner,
fight?
really?
How do
Kevin
you have
Feige,
fights with
Literally
somebody as cool as,
everyone.
Right.
Chris Evans and
And-
Hemsworth?
and Tayana
Bro,
Paris,
she's
who is
problematic.
Monica
Oh, she-
Rambeau. It's
She is problematic.
Brie Larson
I've
is one of
seen
those
her
people where I
online.
think she gets way more shit than she deserves, but I also think she does deserve some shit.
She,
Um,
I'll never forget the time when she was like trying to put this guy on blast that he actually tried to holler at her. Right? He tried to get her number, and because he worked at the airport, she was like, "Oh my God, that's so inappropriate." I'm like, all the guy said was, "Hey, and could he get your number?" He didn't threaten you. He didn't do anything else, and you put him on blast for that on Twitter for everybody to mock
Yeah.
him with you.
Man,
Well,
I thought that
apparently
was
she
that's
also
nothing
classless.
compared to what she. Yeah, man. Jesus.
apparently she also just doesn't really necessarily want to do it anymore.
Yeah, like I
anyway.
don't blame her. If you're just
She's
getting yelled at
so
all
much
online,
blast. Yeah.
yeah, it's like I would kind of probably have a villain arc too. You know?
Yeah, I
So
mean,
She,
'cause there was
she
a
did have
thing
that moment where she's
recently-
like, someone's like, "Hey, Brie, do you want to keep playing Captain Marvel?" She's like,
Yeah.
"I don't know. Does anyone even
Does anyone
fucking
want
want
me
me
to?"
to?" She didn't say.
Oh,
fucking,
yeah.
but
She didn't say fucking.
She basically said that.
But yeah,
Her eyes at that part. Yeah.
Yeah, here I said
it,
the F
it
word.
does seem like she's kind of done with the whole situation. And between that and the studio just seemingly thinking that she's kind of difficult to work with and not really want to, this might be the last time that we see this particular Captain Marvel. So it's a bummer that it's going to bomb.
I'll
it's
just
a
be honest
bummer
with
to
you.
see where the MCU is at the moment because like I've
Yeah,
been
not
watching
great.
Loki and really enjoying it.
Oh yeah, you're feeling it. Huh? I haven't
need to
gotten a
start
chance
that.
to check it out yet.
Yeah, I just want I want the MCU to I think the biggest problem that I have right now with it is that it all kind of feels like just the same. And
I agree.
Mhm.
like visually, I think joke wise, like it's just there's
Tired.
a template for MCU.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think we need and I think the CEO currently kind of understands they overdid it with Marvel.
Yeah.
And they need to scale
Yeah.
back.
Mhm.
Less is more. Make those movies moments. You don't need 17 MCU projects at once. You need 2 or 3. Like if I was them, and again, then we could get to Spider-Man, but like if I was them, it'd be like maybe 2 movies a year and two shows. You know, and
Yeah.
like you get your Daredevil, your Moon Knight, and then you get that's working towards this underground element, and then you get the higher arcing MCU stuff.
You know
Maybe
what I
that
would,
works.
Yeah.
you know what I would also
Yeah.
add? Take it more serious. I think that the
Yeah.
fact of
You-
having levity is cool, right? But they clearly they overdo it. Like you look at the
To
Thor
that
Love and
point,
Thunder.
Love
it's like,
and
come on.
Yep.
It's
My
like
brother
I was
loved
just
it.
gonna say Umbra. So Taika
Just
Waititi
crazy.
will not be returning
he won't.
due to
For
due,
Thor
yeah, due to
5.
backlash. Yeah,
Wow.
and it was because of the again like the comedic hit. Dude, Taika Waititi is awesome.
I like
doing
Taika.
Taika Waititi stuff.
Yeah.
But when you same thing with Ryan Johnson. Like when
Yeah.
Ryan Johnson does Ryan Johnson stuff, it's great. But then you put it to a legacy IP, you
Mhm.
cannot change
I heard
things
me.
because you have a
Yeah.
certain style of directing, and it's the same thing with both of those guys.
And
in
I'll
my
say it's
opinion.
like it's a limit to it, right? Because Hemsworth
Mm-hmm.
clearly has comedic chops. You see it played out. Like who would have thought? But he is actually really solid at that, right? However, like I think the threshold was Ragnarok. I thought that was well done
Yeah.
there, and it just overdid it in Love and
Also,
Thunder.
Thor needs Loki. He needs things that cement him as a god, right?
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
So like that was the element that I think was really missing in Love and Thunder, that and good CG. But
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's still to me it's like still better than the first one because after the first one, oh boy, it's rough. Like Ragnarok's still fantastic. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But yeah, MCU right now, I think we all kind of need a breather from it. And just they need someone. Maybe Kevin Feige finds a replacement for him, and we get a new look and vision. I know that could sound like blasphemy, but just take a look with with Star Wars right now, right? Like in oh my God, what's his name? Why
Andor?
No,
Filoni.
Ahsoka. Filoni, thank you. Dave
Yeah.
Filoni, we trust. Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
Sorry, Lord, for I have sinned. But like Ahsoka's incredible. What they're
him.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, what they're doing with the Mandoverse is just phenomenal, and it's all
I
him
agree.
and Favreau. So like
Yep.
maybe you just need a new pair of eyes on it too.
You might be right. You might be right. Maybe that is the case. I still love Feige. I think he's done so much for
Oh, sure.
Marvel. Like when it comes to that and turning that vision of comics to the live screen. It's just that I think they went astray with just too much comedy, too much of that,
Well,
not enough seriousness. When
yeah,
things
well, and you
should
know
have
what
been.
the start of that was it was actually James Gunn with Guardians 1.
Mm.
Guardians 1 was the first Marvel movie that had, like, I mean, there were comedic bits in the earlier ones, but that was the first one that was like an action comedy with heart, because that was what James Gunn had always envisioned that series as.
Yeah.
And then they were like, wow, we weren't expecting this movie about nobody to take off, and it did. So, like, clearly this is the thing. We're going to do this for everything.
That's a fair
and
point.
it really did not work out for, I think, the majority of attempts.
Yeah, and I think that's what like everything kind of became cookie cutter, like you were pointing out, Bad It's like, oh, let's put the same template for this and that too, and I don't think it works for every every single thing. So.
Everything has a very specific tone. I mean, and that's why like people go to Batman instead of Spider-Man.
True.
Like, you don't want Batman to start cracking jokes just because it works for Spider-Man.
Sure don't.
You want the darkness. Yeah.
That's part of the problem, by the way. Funny enough, of what I had with Justice League and such when they had Batman trying to crack a joke.
Bro,
like,
yes.
What the hell is this?
In the Whedon cut.
Best part of that movie was when I was so scared when Superman comes back, and I was like, oh my god. You guys know that scene. Oh my god, so good.
Yeah.
And then of course the Batman. Well, wait, that's a different movie. That's Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that scene. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, but what you had one more news bit, I think, right?
No, that was the last one.
That was it. Okay, so moving on to our Spider-Man reviews or reviews in progress. I know what Red Wolf, you've played the 64 version, so you can give your take on that.
Yes, I can do a full review right now.
Yeah, go ahead, give us your full review. It shouldn't take long since it's 64.
Yeah, so Stan Lee shows up and he's like, Spider-Man, he's here, he's back. And he's
Excelsior,
New York.
Excelsior.
Yeah, that's right. Excelsior. Dude, that game starts off in this beautiful landscape, full 32-bit. Is that right? I don't know.
Christ.
I'm mad that you're really trying to give a full review of it.
It's just incredible. I mean, Spider-Man can literally swing from the clouds because of his technology that he got from Tony Stark before he even. I mean, it's incredible technology.
The cannon.
But I would like. Who wants to start it off? DC.
I'll start it off because
Okay,
I gotta go right after this. So a little note here. Here on the trophy, what we always do is, like, when we talk about something like a game, we always want to talk about our expectations walking in, because I always feel like that's important. So for me,
absolutely.
I'm a huge Spider-Man fan.
Same.
I have been since I was a kid. He is my superhero. Miles Morales is my Spider-Man. Into the Spider-Verse legitimately saved my life. It showed me something I never seen, which is like a superhero that culturally the same as I. Like, the scene in Into the Spider-Verse that I connect with the most is not when he's web slinging, but he's in his apartment and his parents are speaking Spanglish, and there's Spanish stew like sitting down to boil, and he's taking a sip of it. That's literally my household every Sunday. And so when I saw that, it connected with me on an emotional level I never thought I could connect with anything with. That being said, again, I want to lead this in with a bummer. This game came to me when I was pretty vulnerable. Like, my dog just passed away. Rip to Marty, the bestest of all boys. And I've stated this multiple times. Spider-Man comes to me when I need him the most, and this game was that. It came to me when I absolutely needed an escape from all of it, and provided me something that is just hopeful optimism and belief in not just oneself, but the betterment of others. The belief that, like, one of my favorite lyrics and everything is like, where's my strength in my neighbor's hand? That's exactly what Spider-Man is kind of selling with Spider-Man 2, is like, Peter's strong, but he's only as strong as Miles, vice versa. And we're only as strong than the person next to us. It's those moments where this game shines so damn well in its narrative. It's taking a story beat that we all know and love, the Venom arc, and going, how can we do it without making it like everything else you've seen, while also respecting the source material. And for the most part, to me, they do a really great job with some of the twists when it comes to, Venom, when it comes to, Venom's arc, when it comes to Kraven's arc as well. This is a character that we can't relate to because we're not an ultimate hunter, but there's a part in that story where once you find
not an ultimate hunter.
Yeah, I know, right? Once you find out his motivation, it's the most, I get it. So for me, this game is on a narrative point for a superhero game, incredibly impressive. What we come to expect from Insomniac, and yet somehow delivering it even better than before. Even the side content, some of it I don't like the let's go and do some math, but the payoff to the one-off stories where it's not about Spider-Man, it's about the people in New York, is some of the best side content in a game in a very long time. There was one in particular where I was like, is my TV not working? And then I was like, oh,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And that was so incredibly powerful of a moment.
Which side story was that?
That's
I can't say it.
I'll just say it's with Miles. I'll just say that.
Yeah, it's a Miles character.
Yeah.
And so, it's
okay.
Yeah.
No.
It's awesome. I live in the tri-state area and I go to New York City. I'm going this Saturday quite often. And when people, one of the critiques is like, it's more New York City. It's like, yeah, because it's Spider-Man. But this New York City is way more realized than its previous entries. So much so that like I am going by city blocks by just like how like I usually go by like monuments and like buildings. I'm like, okay, this is here, which means that's over there.
Right.
It's awesome. I love this version of New York City. I love the characters so much. And the combat. Oh boy. Getting rid of the weapon wheel and making it just rely on your L1, R1 buttons for your little gadgets, gizmos, and powers. So smart. Because now it's just the fighting is so fast. Critique though.
Yeah, I do like that, but there are certain gadgets that I wish I still had.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
My one critique, though, I'm a big Bloodborne Souls. Like, I love the iframes. I love a good dodge. Love a good parry. I love a good tell on an enemy. The problem that I get here is there's not a lot of good tells with certain enemies, and sometimes the environment gets a little noisy, so I can't really make out what their attack is, and it's frustrating when I fail that parry because I know I can do it. And when it comes to the bugs in this game, there are bugs, guys.
Yep.
It's okay to admit it. My friendly neighborhood Spider-Man app goes off all the time, and it's so goddamn annoying. That's the bug I constantly, still to this day, run into, and it's immersion breaking because it literally stops the game for Spider-Man to check his phone. It's like he's me with ADHD.
I hadn't seen that one yet.
Yeah, that was a goddamn hindrance. So at the end of the day, I really love Spider-Man because he's my favorite superhero. This is my favorite world to get lost in. And the one thing I do want to recognize as well is the original Spider-Man 2018 hinted at a larger world that is beyond Spider-Man. And we get to see that world a little bit more realized.
You do.
And context that's added to some of the outside elements. That really excites me. What they're building on for the next game, I cannot wait to see.
I want to briefly cut you off. I love your review so far. I love your review, and I love how you related to how.
That's all I got. That's all I got.
Well, I do want to get your score for it if you care to give a score.
That's my time, Doctor. I'm out.
That's right.
But I will say this: I made a tweet on Twitter, and I said, or X, whatever you call this thing now, and I said, and I asked, I
Piece
said,
of shit.
right. So Ellen, thank you, Ellen. But
yeah.
I asked the question. I said, do people think maybe, or speculated at least, that maybe Insomniac is setting up for their own version of the MCU? And to me, it seems like a yes, of everything we see in this game, and like it's like clear cut. There are no like, oh, this could be ambiguously this team.
Yeah.
Like, no, this is that.
So like, without going into spoilers, like I mean, it's not because it's in the first game. Like,
Yeah.
Avengers exist, other heroes
Yeah.
exist,
Mhm.
and now you kind of get an idea of maybe what some of them are doing.
We are
Um,
starting to get to a point where it's like we've had 3 of these games. It's a little weird that New York has gotten bodied this hard and no one's here.
Especially in
we're
this one.
fire,
Avengers
man.
Tower is here. The
Yeah.
Sanctum's over there. Baxter Tower's over there.
Yeah.
Where
Come
y'all
on.
at? Where y'all
It's-
at?
So
That's
like,
true.
I think we'll maybe see some of them in the next one.
Oh yeah.
But what I think they're building onto is not a Spider-Verse, but something close to it.
Mhm.
And that's all I could say. But yeah, I love this game. I don't normally do like the ranking or
Yeah.
whatever. We usually go by bronze, silver, gold, or platinum. And
trophies.
platinum being
That makes sense.
this game, you buy it.
Okay.
Right now, full price. This is to me what that next gen promise from like PlayStation, especially. That is that's this game. There are no load times, and I know that's like really crazy to hear. There's no load times. None. Like I was playing as Peter one time and I fast traveled. And when I tell you the quote unquote load time was a second, it's like I clicked the image, I pressed X, and then I just flew in.
It's pretty
Like
fast.
that's all. And I was just like, this should be illegal.
Unless they have some
Um,
tricky way about it when you like hold on the map and you have to let that meter fill up for fast travel. Unless that's their tricky way around it. Other than
That
that,
has
it's
to be
pretty
it.
Explained, that's not actually the case.
It's
They
not-
actually only added that prompt for user. I guess,
Ah.
Probably because you don't want to accidentally press it and then you're always.
and I hope they
pumped.
actually include
Okay.
an option later where you can actually turn that off because that's a cool way to show off their engine. I was hoping the Digital Foundry deep dive they would have done that because I know.
But that's
John
what I
was
love.
talking to the guy.
When something
That's
is so
pretty
good that you don't think it could be real, like
Yeah.
Fable. Fable looks so good, and they're like,
So
"That's
true.
in game."
Yep.
They're like, and like even to me, I'm like, I will see for myself because that looks
Yeah.
way too
Yeah.
good. Like
I want to see
it's
more.
those moments where again, developers are so goddamn talented. The one last thing I'll say here is like heart. Every time I'm playing this game, I think of the heart of this game, of the developers, the love that they have for the IP, the respect that they have towards it, and still making narrative risks. It shows why Insomniac's one of the best in the business. And I love this game so much. Between this and Starfield, this is my game of the year. Go out there, go buy the thing. But yeah, boys, I gotta go because I'm getting hooted and hollered at downstairs. But
So, Bad
thank y'all
Bit,
so
thank
much.
you for
Yeah.
being here with us, brother, and coming here for this. You stayed way longer
course.
than I actually anticipated, so I appreciate
Oh,
it.
oh, good. Yeah, and listen, guys, I'll give my little spiel and then I'm out of here. I promise.
Yeah.
But you can find me over at Mr. Badbit on Twitter. You can find my show, The Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players, where each and every Wednesday night, live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, me and my best friend Kyle talk about the latest, the greatest in all things PlayStation. And then on Thursday, the feeds go live. So if you can't check us out live, that's no problem. You can check us out on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. Rate us 5 stars there because it really does help us out. We don't do any of the console war nonsense. We really, really, really hate it. Because please clap. I got people that yelled at me because I talked too highly of Starfield. I was like, relax, you don't belong here then. It's
I'm
like
allowed
it's
to like
that type of
things.
stuff. Yeah. I like this game. I'm going to talk about it. It's just simple how it is, and that's what we do, and that's what we strive for over at the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast. And follow me on at for the moment at X at Mr. Badbit because we are doing a Spider-Man PS5 giveaway for Extra Life. So if you want to learn more about that in the coming days, follow me there. But
So-
guys, this has been a goddamn honor.
I put
Purple
your
achievement.
put your link there in the chat, guys. If you have not done so, and you want to hear a PlayStation perspective on somebody who's actually fair and not insane, then give Mr. Bad Bit, give him and his brother, his friend, a view and a follow. I put that in there. I'm going to also add
Thank
you
you,
to the
man. I
description
appreciate
later on. So yeah, thank you
Thank
for
you,
coming
thank
through,
you.
brother. You have a good night.
Of course, anytime, y'all. Y'all have a great one.
Absolutely, you too.
You too, man.
Peace.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody, if you're
that's
looking for a PlayStation podcast, the Trophy Room really is, in my opinion, the best one. Like podcast beyond who? PS I love what? No.
Yeah.
The Trophy Room really is genuinely the one that I go to listen to when I'm like, okay, but what's the truth here?
Yeah. See, there are some good like folks, no matter which side it is. And I think because of the
Yeah.
discourse, we kind of come to this point where we like, I can't deal with them on that side, and I can't deal with them on that side. But there are some genuinely good people on both sides. I still think that the Xbox community has the best people. I'm just going to be real with you. But
Yeah.
there are some genuinely great people on the other side, DC being one. And that transitions me to my point. DC, what would be your review for this? And if you don't want to give a score, that's fine. I guess we can, I think maybe we should kind of outlast the scores for games anyway. Maybe we need to go that direction. But if you feel like giving a score, if you feel so inclined, do so. I'm going to give a score because I typically score mine. But what were your thoughts with this game? Like, where did you land?
My score for this game is a must play, especially if you love the Spider-Man universe, the Spider-Man games, and everything Spider-Man. There's so many Easter eggs and call-outs in the game. I think they did a terrific job using the universe, putting their own spin on things. I think that's one of the biggest points that Insomniac has done is taking familiar characters and doing different things with them. I loved a lot of things they did with Miles. I also loved a lot of what they did with Peter, playing into a lot of his comic story in the game, and with some of the side quests and things that you're doing. I just think it's a game everybody should play. They use a lot of things very well in this game. They use some things from Ratchet and Clank, which is one of my favorite series, which I was going ballistic when I saw that part. So I was like, oh man, this is just from Ratchet and Clank. And then not only that, the combat, the powers that you get, the symbiote, the suit unlocks. I mean, there's not a lot to dislike about this game besides the various bugs and crashes.
Right.
I saw they finally released what I call the post day one patch today, which I'm surprised it took them a week to do it. But hopefully that alleviates a lot of the issues that people were seeing, such as Spider Cube.
Spider Cube? I knew you were going to say it.
I love that.
In all of gaming.
Yeah. I hadn't suffered that one yet. So I was fortunate, but I had seen like a bunch of people sharing it. So it became like it was a thing where I know some people were sharing fake stuff, but that was one of the genuine ones because even Mr. Matty Plays had it happen to him.
Yeah. I've also heard that apparently they patched, that was like one of the first ones they patched. So apparently that's not in there anymore. I don't know if that's true. I haven't played it since it would have been patched.
They got rid of Spider Cube. No.
I know, it was the best suit in the game. I don't know why they got rid of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also didn't encounter that one. I had other bugs, but not that one.
Yeah, I had a bunch of other ones. I had like 5 crashes and a few other things. But yeah, what else would you say about it, DC? Like for you, narratively, how did you feel about the story? What did you feel about the abilities, the combat, the movement? What was your thoughts on all of that?
I think the story was great. There's a couple of things that they could have done without. One of the things I thought was kind of weird was how they handled crimes in the game. They're a little different than the previous games, even though they improved it in some ways. I think one of my bigger complaints is with the crimes. They're not really essential to completion anymore. At first, when I was playing through the game, I was doing the crimes every time they popped up because I was thinking it was like the first game where that's critical to completing some of the districts. But once I saw that you don't actually have to do them, I was just, hey, there's a car being stolen, but I don't care. I gotta go do this here. So I'm probably gonna like drop a clip like, oh, Spider-Man hadn't, or was it Daily Bugle headline? Spider-Man, he's not saving the city anymore. He just keeps flying around these damn web wings, sitting in these wind tunnels. He's not helping nobody. Like, what's going on?
Spider-Man said, "File it with your
Jonah
insurance."
Jameson's greatest dream. You know what I mean?
Yeah, talk to your insurance agency. I got things to do.
But other than that, I mean, the game is great. I think the length of it is just fine. I don't think anybody should have any concerns about game length because there's a lot of story here, and then the side content also takes quite a while. The only thing I was disappointed about is the delay of New Game Plus because once you beat the game and you 100% everything, the only thing you can really do is just look for crimes, and you can't really. I don't think there's a way to change the time of day, so it's just daytime all the time now.
Yeah, they did remove that, and I thought I was tripping because once I beat it, I was like, can I go to like the new game with this? And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, they don't have it. So it's like you can go to the most difficulty. I'm like, how? I don't have New Game Plus. You expect me to run around in a completed New York and do this? But yeah. So no, I agree with some of your points, a lot of your points there actually. But I will say, well, I'll get to my point in a few. Danny, what about you? What were your thoughts on Spider-Man and your review for it?
So I'm gonna be, I guess, the outlier here because while I do very much like this game, I think it's got a lot of problems. I think it's got a lot of problems. And not just the technical ones. Obviously, the technical ones are there, and they're kind of like surprising because I'd never seen an Insomniac game fall apart like this one. I had it crash on me 4 different times throughout the course of the game, and I beat the game in I think 2 days, maybe 3. So 4 crashes in that time is a lot. I had bugs where I had to reload saves and like where stuff just didn't work. I had complete freezes. Like there was a lot of technical problems. But outside of that, I think it also has a lot of problems in both the side content. I think the overwhelming majority of the side content, there is both too much of it and it doesn't pay off well. There's like 1 or 2 I can think of that pay off well. There's one where you play as Miles, where you're doing some stuff for a museum, and I think that one pays off well. I think that one's good. And really, honestly, all the other ones, I don't think are worth the time. The only other one I can think of that ends in an even remotely interesting way is the Fire Cult one, because it ends in kind of a disappointing way, but at least an interesting way, where it's just like a sequel bait, and it's like cool. So cool.
I do wonder how they're going to play that part out because
I assume that.
Yeah, I kind of see the path of who was going to be the next big bad, and I don't think it's going to be that person from that story. So.
No. But like, there's just so much of it where it's like, do I really need to collect 42 spider bots? Like, that's kind of a lot, and the payoff for it is pretty nothing. Like, it's like a 30-second cutscene that's not particularly interesting. Do I need to do all of these science things again? Because I don't really want to. Like, so the overwhelming majority of the side activities end with like a very brief cutscene of like, and then everything was a little bit better, and you're like, cool, I guess, but like, I don't know. It didn't feel worth it to me. I also feel like narratively, there's a lot of problems with the main story. I still think it's very good. To be clear, I like this game a lot. I just think that it's my least favorite of the 3 Spider-Man games. There's a lot of problems, I think, with the pacing of it. I think it's really weird. Like, it feels like either Kraven got too much time or Venom got too little, or both.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly, like those 2 stories don't mesh particularly well for me. To use wrestling terminology instead of spoilers, they bury a lot of jobbers for Kraven and then immediately throw Kraven away too, and I'm just like, don't understand what the plan with that was. Like, I don't know why we bothered. It just kind of feels like the 3rd act feels like it comes out of nowhere. And it's still a fun 3rd act. It's just like, I don't know where any of this came from. And that rings true for a lot of like the bigger emotional moments too, where there'll be bits where like characters are crying and upset and like yelling at you, and they're like, oh my god, this is the worst thing in the world. And they're like, where did this come from? Like, I've played this game for 12 hours and you've never said anything about this. And this game has been largely cutscenes, and you have not mentioned that you felt this way once. Right. So I don't know why you're doing this now.
You tripping.
Man. Like what's happening? But like, I do think the combat is really good. I miss some of the, like I said when Bad Bit was reviewing it, I miss some of the gadgets. I really wish I still had my impact web. I think that was great. But some of the ones that they've replaced it with, I think, are also great. You know, I love the web line. I think that's great for stealth, which is how I want to do pretty much all of those sections, because I just love doing Spider-Man stealth. It's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's really, really fun. Traversal, really good. I did have bugs with it a lot that were really annoying, where like you would go to do like the point launch and it just wouldn't happen, so you would end up just like stopping and standing on whatever you were trying to be on, and it's like, oh, come on, man, like I was having a good time here. But for the most part, it feels really good. So like, mechanically, in terms of combat and traversal, which is arguably the 2 most important things of the game, feels great. I love those things. I think it's great. But I had a lot of problems where it just like, I just could not get, like, narratively, there is nothing in this game that is as impactful to me as the Aunt May bit at the end of the first game, or the bit where Peter's like, "You knew," and then calls Doc Ock. And there's just like nothing. There's nothing in this game that hits me on the same level. That there's stuff that's really good. It just like doesn't hit that same bar. I don't know if I'm explaining this.
No,
well.
I get you 100%. It emotionally didn't hit you as hard. You said
it didn't get me the same way. It really didn't. I thought that I would be more irritated by the character model. I have a lot of notes here. I thought I'd be more irritated by the character models, but they all grew on me. Like new Peter face really grew on me. I was okay with that pretty fast, actually. I do think it's weird that MJ looks like Ashley Johnson, but is voiced by Laura Bailey. I think that's his choice. But whatever.
Yeah.
And then I just don't like. I don't know why. One of my biggest just absolute minor nitpicks is why did the suits not have special powers anymore? Like, why is it that there's so many suits now, and the reason to buy them in the first game was that you got an extra power with, I think, the majority of them. Maybe not like the ones that came afterwards in like DLC or whatever. I don't know about those ones, but the majority of them came with like an extra power, and then that was the reason to do it. You could swap it and put it on whatever suit you want. In this one, it's just like, well, most of these suits are just kind of like somebody else's suit. Like, I'm not going to play the story of this game dressed as Miguel O'Hara. I'm not going to do that because that's narratively destructive. Like, I don't understand how that works.
That's how I am.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't do that.
I'm not going to do it as Miguel. I'm not going to do it as Spider-Punk. I'm not going to do it as Spider-Man Noir because that's a different character. Like, I don't want to be that character in the story mode of this. I don't want a cutscene to be like Mary Jane telling how much she loves Spider-Man Noir or whatever. Like, it doesn't feel right.
While he's moving around all crazy with that animation style.
Yeah, like it's weird. I don't know. And so like not having those powers I think is weird. I also don't like this. I've never liked the spider arms, like the iron spider arms.
Yeah.
And the fact that that's like your main power until you get the Venom stuff is weird. I also use your Venom powers to beat up 100 guys, and I thought I was using the Venom powers when I was playing as Peter, but no, it's talking about Miles' Venom powers because they're both Venom powers.
Oh,
I was like, damn,
I forgot about that. Yeah, you call it the same.
Yeah. So it's weird. Like, I really do love this game, but it has so many problems where I'm like, it's just not as good as the other ones, and it's not what I was expecting in terms of quality from Insomniac. And I do think part of that is because Insomniac has put out so many games lately. Like, they are busting their balls.
Yeah.
And like, I love them for it. And the fact that they put out 3 games in 3 years and it's still at this bar of quality is insane. Like, they're killing it.
Yeah, no.
But it's like,
I agree.
Damn, like if Wolverine is coming out next year, which people are saying it's not, or they're saying that it is. I don't think it is. But people are saying that it will be. Then like, let them breathe, dude. Like, let them take a break. Where are the other studios? Help them boy out. Like, damn.
I will add that I think the reason why this game has as many bugs as it has, which surprised me, by the way, because just the ones I've had on my own, I'm like, this is not like Insomniac to do. Like, their quality control is really top notch typically. So I think it started to weigh on them just getting these games out back to back to back like they've been doing too, where they should have been spaced out. And I think Sony probably put the pressure on them to get this game out this year when it probably would have been better served to come out next year. That's what it feels like.
The thing is, they said a lot of these bugs came with the day one patch. A lot of reviewers said they weren't seeing.
Yeah,
this.
they were saying that they didn't see any bugs, and I don't know if I believe that, but like maybe because I don't know how you patch something and make it that. Because it's not like, oh, there was one consistent bug that happens all the time. It's a lot of small ones. Like I phased through walls into buildings. I had people floating. I had character models not rendering. I had sound not rendering, and not just in the one cutscene or the one side mission where it's not supposed to render, but just like across the board. Sometimes it just wasn't in cutscenes. It's weird. It's really weird. If true that the day one patch broke all that stuff, then just unpatch it. Like, just take that patch out. I don't know.
Yeah, unpatchy. But yeah, no, I agree with a lot of that. But where would you land if you gave it a score? Where would you land at?
Damn. Like an 8.5 or an 8 somewhere in there.
I think that's fair. An 8.5.
I think because I think it's really good. It's just like there's aspects of it that really annoy me. Though I'll tell you, my number one biggest annoyance that is just for me and will not affect anybody else on the planet. When Peter gets the symbiote suit, he within like 30 seconds of putting that bitch on is talking like Sasuke Uchiha, and I hate that fucker. I hate that guy so much. It's so like
You got it's because you watch too much of the anime now. It's like you hear him like, no, he triggers you.
He starts talking, I'm like, get out of here, you edgelord.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like little tiny things that add up to be really annoying for me. And I still think it's a great game. Like if you have a PS5, you should for sure be playing this game. Like it is one of like it is that game.
Yeah, it's definitely a must have. Yep.
I just don't think it's as good as the last two.
You know, and this is where I converge just a bit different. Like I had some issues, and mine's going to come down to nitpicks, and this is why I probably land at a 9 overall. I did start to feel like maybe it should be 8.5 because the bugs were enough where I could say this was an issue, right? I did have sound cut off from bugs. I did have like this odd electrical green glow that hit my chest and stayed there after I fought these guys, and this cutscene happened, and it was just an entire electro like lightning bolt inside my chest and back. Like you could see the whole glow, and it wouldn't go away until I reloaded the checkpoint or closed the game. I had 5 crashes. I had this weird funny one where I went to stop the guy in a car. I press triangle to catch up to them, and it pulled him out of the car, and the car was still driving. So he's on the street ready to fight me. He's squaring up like, yeah, come on, give it up, bitch. And I just fly past him like, I'll get you in a second. I go get to the car, web it up, and stop it. Nobody's in the driver's seat, but it was driving. I'm like, who's driving this thing? It was the guy I pulled out. So I had funny things like that happen. So when I say the bugs for me, and it's kind of like how I feel with Starfield, although I can't really remember actually encountering any bugs in Starfield. I'm going to be honest with you. And I know this might sound like, oh, sure, yeah, you're sure, right. Okay. I didn't really encounter any bugs in Starfield. I can't think of one that I like, oh, this is a bug that I encountered in Starfield, which is why this surprised me so much to have so many in an Insomniac game, because I'm not used to them having issues like this that I have seen, at least in my experience. I'm not saying they're not there. I just haven't experienced them. I'll go.
Well, let me say this. Sorry, let me just say this because I do have to check out here soon. I just wanted to say, from someone who has not played it and everything that I was worried about, worried being hyperbolic, obviously it's video games, but as far as the gameplay goes, the wingsuit is the one big thing for me. The wingsuit and 2 Spidermans in one game were the one thing, because when I saw the wingsuit, I was just like, why, man? Because it's a weird thing for me to say, like, I really want a grounded Spider-Man, but what I mean is that in terms of, from everything that I've heard about this game, everything that I've seen and everything that I've heard from you guys and everyone that I've talked to, all the other shows that I've listened to, it seems like what's been taken away from this sequel is that Spider-Man has lost his individuality, I guess, and lost his sort of his sort of like,
I don't know that
I'm struggling
agree with that.
Well, I mean,
and I do think Peter and Miles feel very different.
The Peter Parker story is still there. I wouldn't say he's lost his identity at all, because they do a really good job of making these are 2 very different characters.
I agree with that.
If you're worried about that, I would say
okay.
Listen, so I want to add this. I want to add this to that because it goes into one of my thoughts on it. They do make you definitely understand it's Peter and then there's Miles, right? You definitely get that. You got Cuban Miles over there with his Cuban flag, and then you got I know DC is like, don't you do it. I had to, DC. I saw that when it happened. I actually didn't report on it, but I did see it before it was even talked about.
Yeah, I did too.
So I laughed at it. I just laughed like, what is this flag here for? But anyway, but what I will say is this. I honestly thought, and I hate when they do this and stuff, because I thought they were trying to make it a little too even keeled and tie in everybody to an events. Oh, here's this person important to Miles' story that happened in his game. You got to see this through and the redemption. And here's this for Peter and the forced emo. So what I at the end of it though, to me it felt like, I'm not trying to sound funny, it kind of felt like they emasculated Peter a little bit. And I don't know if you all felt that, but to me they made him ineffectual toward the end, where Miles was doing everything. And I'm like, what, Pete, how long have you been Spider-Man? that the new the new
Okay,
Spooter man is the Spooter man,
Yeah.
as Red would say, the new Spooter man
new
is
Spooter man.
is doing everything, and you're kind of like dependent, literally. If you guys have beat it, so you know what I'm talking about, Danny and
Yeah,
DC.
I
There are
I can't-
moments. There are moments
I
where
can't without spoilers say why I kind of disagree, but I
yeah.
understand why. I understand why you would feel that way because I also felt like Miles was more fun to play as and was just like generally
Well, not even just the
like,
fun
more
part.
interesting.
Not even just that and interesting. It's like they made Peter where he was like dependent on Miles. Like if you didn't have
That's
Miles
fair.
there, you would have failed. That's how they made it. And it was like, okay, like I love Miles. I do. But much like Bad Bit, Peter is my favorite comic character of all time. Spider-Man is my favorite comic character. So, and I know that I've read these comics for years growing up, and I know he's done some crazy stuff in these books that didn't rely on other heroes to save him. Here, he was at the like, if it had not been for Miles, you would have died multiple times in this game as Peter, like without question. And I know you know what I'm talking about when I say that. And
Yeah.
or you would have failed. You would have
And
died.
not just Miles, also,
yeah.
but like Harry and MJ too.
Oh, and that goes to my other point. Damn those MJ missions.
Oh, see, I kind of like him in this one.
They
I
were
like her
better.
little, like taser missions.
They were better, but then it creates kind of I don't want to say narrative problems, although it does in a bit because Peter would never allow her to go into these dangerous spots that she went into and just be like,
Yeah,
oh, okay.
I mean, yeah.
And Miles either, because he was there at a point, and it's like, why did you let her go in there? You were right there. So it's points like that, but then it's also the little magical taser gun that can take out these enemies with 3
No,
hits.
I absolutely know what part you're talking about. Where it's like,
Yeah.
why would you be the one that goes in there?
Exactly.
I 100% know what you're talking about.
You
That
know what I'm
part's
talking
very
about.
strange.
Yeah, it's like,
I do
Miles,
like
you're
that they
right
made
there.
her- yeah, I like that they made her matter more in this story, but I get what you're saying because
Yeah.
like she doesn't matter in the first game like almost at all.
True.
At
and
first,
in
she's
this one
like
she does
less
feel like she actually has
self-serving
a-
and not so much of a.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like that about it, but I completely understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, that frustrated me a bit. I will give credit to say that they definitely improved it. It's the best version of that of that side. Well, I don't want to say side, but the stealth missions, or if you will,
Side piece.
by far. The side piece. Yeah.
No, that's Felicia.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Well, just to clarify, real quick, and I'm glad that you guys touched on that because that's good to know. So that's a whole new. That's a
World.
whole new.
Yeah,
but
there you
so-
go.
Really, what I was gonna say, what I really meant by what I was getting into is that, I think, and maybe this is just like a sign of me getting older, but I think what I've always loved so much about Spider-Man is the duality of Peter Parker and Spider-Man, and him having to struggle with that as an individual without having help, and that was always like it's like you have like the like. For example, like Bruce Wayne struggles with being Bruce Wayne more than he struggles with being Batman because he's so obsessed with being Batman. So then he has to go and put on this fake ass persona when he's Bruce Wayne, this playboy persona, because all he wants to do is get back to what he's obsessed with.
Yeah.
On the other hand, with Spider-Man is like trying to please everyone, and it's just him trying to please everyone. He's struggling with school, and he's struggling with his job, and he's trying to save the world. And from what I've seen, and again, you guys, I think, sort of convinced me otherwise. That's sort of one thing that I was worried about. Was that struggle that Peter Parker deals with being Spider-Man and his
It happens, but it's very brief. I'm gonna be honest with you, because so much more is going on that it kind of just shifts away from that perspective.
Right.
So you'll see it if you play it, but it happens, that like that whole Peter Parker / Spider-Man thing, but that's you only get it for like a moment. After that, you got so much world disastrous things happening. where
he's
just
like,
don't
I
have
ain't got time for a
time.
job.
You really don't.
Yeah.
It's just kind of at a point you just kind of don't have time for that anymore.
Right. And the only other thing, honestly, but like, and I think that having the option to play as two different Spider-Mans, I think is awesome. Because I still haven't played Miles Morales. I do want to play. It's on PC, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. I would love to play it. I've heard it's short, but I never just mainline a story in a game. I have to do like everything. So,
I'm the same,
but
so I understand. Yep.
yeah. So, and the only other thing other than that was the wingsuit. So, do you guys feel like the wingsuit took away? Because I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, I did not want to be flying around the
It
city.
did not.
Yeah,
It adds.
I don't feel
for-
like it. I don't
well,
feel like it took anything away, but it.
Okay.
I don't necessarily think it's a huge ad. But they don't make like a huge deal out of it. Like there's one side mission type deal where you have to fly with the wings, and if you hate it, you can just put on the auto chase thing, and it'll just play that part of the game for you, so you don't really even have to worry about it.
Okay. And do you think that it adds too much gamifiedness? Because I've seen a little bit of gameplay where now you're seeing wind tunnels all over the city, and it sort of takes away the immersion.
I get what you
from
mean.
what I've seen.
I get what
Yeah,
you mean
it's
by
sort of
that.
like yeah.
It
Yeah,
is a little
maybe a
overdone,
little.
but they do it for the reasons of allowing us to allowing you to traverse easier. I'll say this: it's a worthwhile addition because it definitely is it's
Okay.
by far the fastest. And Spider-Man and Miles should be moving around like this. They move like 200 miles per hour swinging around.
Yeah.
Literally. So
Yeah,
they-
a lot of people I talked to, they said they didn't even use the fast travel because they
I
like
think
web
the
swinging and
exact
using the
quote
web
is
so much.
200 miles per hour with a blindfold on.
Yes, yeah, they're pretty damn fast. Like
Yeah,
literally,
that's crazy.
they're insanely quick. So to me, it just played into the mythos more than anything. And so I did like you said, Danny, it's funny seeing this image here because his face did grow on me more too. I didn't have an issue with the change, but I did start to feel like, I get why people said it, but then on this one, it grew into me more as far as accepting him as the new face for Peter. I will say this: I
do wanna
hated
play it,
I hated Miles' hair so much in this game. This is what I mean.
Really?
Yeah,
I
that
had-
last suit. I don't know who designed
Oh.
it. They need to-
Oh, that last
Easy.
suit. Oh my god.
I was
I'll
so
have to see it.
mad.
haven't even
I
seen
was
it.
so mad that I was forced into that horrible suit because it's with
Or at least
Adidas.
put the hood on. Like, come on,
So
man.
ugly.
Yeah, at the very least, put the hood on. But they had this
He
with
has
his hair
so many
sticking
good
out.
suits, but this one, here we go.
Right. And by the way,
Yeah.
I should have known though, because that one pre-order suit that had him hanging out, that was probably a sign of
you might be
what
right
possibly
about
was
that.
in store.
But you know what's so crazy about it, Danny? You pointed out as far as pacing and things that came out of nowhere. That came out of nowhere. It was like
Yeah,
he did all this
Well,
stuff was going on. Oh, it got a new suit. It's more one of one. Like what?
Yeah.
What? Why?
so like I don't know. I guess people might technically call this a spoiler, but yeah. So like he gets a new suit at one point in the game, and the thing that annoyed is exactly what you're talking about. The thing that annoyed me about it is that every time you're in his bedroom, you can see like his workstation where he's been working on his suit and like modifying it. There
Yeah.
is no reference to like this suit being built. Like there's no like you're not seeing like the blue stripes or anything being built. He just has his normal suit, and then I think one of Peter's masks just like sitting there.
Yeah.
And it's like if this was something that you wanted to work towards and you wanted us to like buy into this admittedly pretty stank nasty suit, you could have at least tried to work it into the story more than
Yeah.
just like, hey, so you got forced, like, because Peter also gets forced into a suit at the end of the game that I don't like.
Yeah.
Not as much as I don't like the Miles one, but I don't like the suit that Peter's
I know what
either.
you mean. Yeah. Although,
Uh,
see, but narratively, Peter's
that one
makes
makes
sense. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Um,
you only got that for story reasons, and I
Mhm.
think that's why Miles got one too, just because they wanted it. It's almost like any other game where they get their in-game form or whatever. That's
Yeah.
pretty much what that was.
Final form.
You know what? The thing about it though, DC, is like in going to Danny's point earlier, it's like they give you that suit, but it's not like it does anything special for you. And it says advanced
Right.
suit. It's like it's not advanced. It is horrible looking. You got Adidas on. Is that the advanced part? Because it got Adidas on? Like, oh, I'm name brand now. Like that's
Yeah,
it.
that's
Oh,
probably one of my only few complaints or negatives is some of the suits they took a little while to unlock.
Yeah.
For me, for example, I wasn't really a fan of the symbiote suit. I get why they had it like that because Insomniac
Oh.
is trying to do their own version of
Yeah.
everything.
I know
It's
what you
too
mean.
wet.
I thought it was kind of weird how long it took to get the classic all black symbiote suit.
Same,
By the
level
time I got
50.
it, I don't even think I had the powers at the time anymore.
Yeah, level 50. I had the power still, but it was like, I'll just stick to the narrative one. But I feel you on that too. But a lot of my stuff comes down to nitpicks, right? That's why I'll say that right here so you all would know. Miles' hair, hated that, but that's just my thought. I'm not going to rate the game negatively because of that. Some of the stuff like him having that suit change at the end for no reason, just thought it was silly, and I hate that suit with a passion. stuff like that. Things where, like the Mary Jane side missions, I just feel like I bought this to play as Spider-Man, or as Red is calling them, Spidermans.
Bitterman.
Spidermans. So I don't really want to play as MJ. And I got love for MJ. Also, too, just to throw it out there, I strongly dislike the whole need for Western games to make every woman some type of, grounded. They don't have to be like we look at Eastern.
I thought we were going a different direction. I thought you were going to talk about Yuri.
Oh no, Yuri was kind of all right actually. She yeah. I won't say too much about that, but yeah.
Yuri's character arc in this felt very CW to me.
It
and
did.
I don't mean that as a compliment.
No, it did, but as far as how she looks, I wasn't mad by that. That's what I mean.
Sure. Yeah.
Visually, like MJ, they aged the hell out of her in some ways, and then some ways she looks all right. So I don't know how to quite place her, but then at the same time, it was like I'm used to supermodel MJ in the comics. So why is it that they had to change her so dramatically as to what she was in this game? And basically, she's Peter Parker here. I'm hunting for the story. She's Lois Lane / Peter, and Peter is not that thing that he was in that universe outside of the teacher thing. That they kept to that, at least I'll give them that. But just like I say, just things because I've read the book, so it's kind of like I feel away when I see certain changes and such, right? But narratively, I thought it was really solid. I thought it was overly hokey at points, and I will agree with you, at Danny, where you point out that it didn't hit emotionally as hard as the first game did. The first game, I thought, just overall, the narrative was better. I thought the story was better. I thought the payoff at the end hit harder.
I was in tears.
Yeah.
I was in tears at the end of the first Spider-Man, and that there was like one point in this where I like started getting a little choked up.
Yeah.
And that was as far as I got. Again, I very much like this game. I just don't like it as much.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on there. I feel you 100%. Like I'm saying all of this stuff and it sounds negative. I still came to a 9. Like even with the bugs, I still came to a 9. So it sounds more negative than what it is. But a lot of my stuff again is nitpicks because I just would not have liked it that way. So just some things. It's some things that I'm probably forgetting too. I think Bad Bit covered a lot of this really, really well as far as how he put it together and his thoughts. But for me, if I just have to say, as far as I'll just throw this out there now and I'll end this conversation on this. We talk about games of the year, rather. I although I have this at a 9, I do not see it as my game of the year. And it sounds weird to say because I actually have this rated 0.5 over Starfield. I gave Starfield an 8.5.
Yeah. It would have been really cool if you could, like, as Spider-Man, get like a little spider ship and fly around in like space.
Yeah.
Just wait for the mods.
Yeah, wait for the mods.
Oh, baby. Yeah.
But no, like I gave Starfield an 8.5, but I feel like that's my game of the year. This is a 9, but I don't feel it's a game of the year. I don't know how to reconcile that.
I mean, that's fine. It's your own opinion. So it's not your game of the year, but would you put it like your top 5?
Definitely in the top 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely in the top 5 for sure.
Yeah.
One of the best games, and it's hard to say that because there's so many ridiculously great games this year.
And Alan Wake is like right there. Yeah. And I know I'm gonna love that game.
Yeah, man. Oh God, please.
So I'll close this conversation, but I'll say this: if you guys are on the fence about trying this game out, I would say get off the fence. It's worth having.
Yeah, 100% play it, and because all the bugs and stuff, like most of my complaints are things that can get patched, or things that can be skipped. Like the side mission stuff, I don't know if you view this as a positive or not, but like all the puzzles, you can just hit start and do skip puzzle. And it's like, on one hand, it's like, why'd you put it in if it wasn't fun to do? But on the other hand, it's like, well, at least you're not making me do it.
I didn't even know you could skip the things.
Yeah, you can skip all the puzzles.
I saw
you can skip all the puzzles, and you can get rid of QTEs, and you can get rid of the chase sequences.
Really?
So you can literally just turn this into a punching game with cinematic.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you can do. You can also change basically all of the combat. Like Fawn, she was saying, Spider-Man feels spongy on all the enemies. I should be able to kill him with one hit because he's so strong. And you can actually do that if you wanted to. You could change the enemy health, your health, how much damage you're doing. I mean, they give you all kinds of trophies.
That's
or
like
anything.
Ubisoft level accessibility. Like Ubisoft with Valhalla, especially, eventually added in a ton of accessibility options. Everything from like how close the camera is, how offset it is, to how much damage you take, how much damage you deal. one-hit assassinations. Like I love when games give you the option, especially for single-player games. Like, come on, let
Yeah.
us. When someone's like, "This is the way the game's meant to be played, so you must play it this way." It's like, shut up.
Right.
I let give me options. So I love that. That's really cool to hear. I mean, hell, I mentioned it with Control. That's what I did with Control. I was like, I just want to play this for the story. So I did. I put on one-hit kills and just flew through it
Okay.
because I'm a
AKA journalist mode.
Yeah.
Good
literally. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to play Spider-Man. I'll get it when it comes to PC in 7 years. So honestly, it actually makes me really want to. I've been looking. If anybody knows any sneaky, scummy ways to buy Spider-Man remastered on PC for cheap, let me know. I do want to go back and play that now because it's got all the Xbox. I'm just so used to Xbox controllers, so all the button prompts and everything are there.
You could probably use your Xbox controller on PC though.
No, I have. So this is funny. I got on eBay a couple months ago, and I was like, let me look for like a cheap code, and found one. It was like $10. So I bought it, and then they sent me a login, and I was like, what is this? And they're like, oh, it's my login, so you can just have access to my library. I was like, what the fudge? And so I all it was them just allowing me to have access to their account, and I was like, I don't want this. Like, I want my own, But I did boot up Spider-Man because I wanted to test it on my PC, and it ran great. It was running like 80 frames, and I plugged in my Xbox controller, and it was so cool to like see the prompts that I'm used to. It was just so cool. So it just made me excited to play it once I do buy it, because I was all hyped for Spider-Man 2. So
Okay.
I'll do the same.
Took a
for
picture.
Spider-Man.
See, look, Spider-Man is on Xbox.
Right.
I know, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Hey, so
it was so cool. Yeah.
So we got this last topic I just want to go through really quick. It's about the Xbox partner preview, and we'll wrap it up from there. I don't know if can you stick around for this one, Wolf?
Well, listen, I would love to stick around if we go straight to Metal Gear Solid 3, and then I can jump.
I'm going to skim through them really quick because we've all seen these.
All right, I got you.
I'll get quick thoughts from you guys from it and keep moving to the next one.
Okay.
So let me put this on the screen. And there we go. Ryu Ga Gotoku. And this right here is, of course, Like a Dragon, Infinite Will. Just give quick thoughts. I was not taken in by this. I'm going to be honest with you. I still have yet to play part 6, but I saw this and I'm like, okay, I'm riding on a damn dolphin, and he goes to this island, and I guess in Hawaii somewhere, and I don't know. Like, there's the dolphin right there.
Yeah. So something important to point out here is that this whole like weird Animal Crossing thing, that's not the game. That's a side activity.
Okay.
That's just an extremely deep side activity that they spent this entire event talking about for some reason.
Okay, I see. Okay, well that solves it a bit more. In Dundoko Island, I'm like, okay. So the thing I do appreciate about Sega is that they're very Japanese. What I mean by that is they make sure to put their culture in this game, and I appreciate that. But then I saw this and I was like, okay, this is too much Japanese culture.
I was like, I don't need all this.
I don't need that much. It threw me off a little bit. So yeah, what you guys thoughts on a DC and Red? Would this be a game you guys would get?
I've actually never played a Yakuza game before.
Oh,
I might give them a try eventually if
Yeah.
they're ever into PS Plus little game thing.
Well, you got if
it's
you
not
go on
my
a
type of
Game
game.
Pass, if you go on a Game Pass, you can. I think they're in there
Yeah.
too still, right?
Yeah, I think they're all there.
Well,
Yeah.
I
Well,
thought Yakuza
question
Zero
is it
was
in the
PlayStation.
Game Pass Ultimate tier or is it on regular PC Game Pass? Because
I don't know.
I ran into this issue last month because the only reason I really signed up was I was like, oh cool, I get access to Party Animals on GeForce Now. But apparently that game you need Game Pass Ultimate to play, even though it has the Game Pass logo on it. I was a little
see.
confused by that.
I see. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, well, that's odd. But as far as that goes, I'm not too sure. But I
don't know
I
for
would
sure.
at the same time I would say, hey, get Ultimate because I'm with Ultimate and I think it's worth it. So I don't know what to say on that. But I will say that they are inside of Game Pass, and you can start with Yakuza 0 and work your way up to
Oh,
Konami
nice.
and such. But they are really good. They're long.
Yeah, I saw Dan was playing them. He made it look very enticing, so I might give them a try.
Yeah, they are fun. They're very Japanese. Is the best way I could put it. Yeah. So, what about you, Red? Would this be a game you would get?
I mean, I actually, I might.
It sounds like a no. I don't know.
It is a no. Okay, it's a no, but it's like perhaps maybe I'm wrong. I actually I'm weird. So like if anyone didn't know, I'm sort of, I don't know how to describe what the hell I'm feeling right now. So with anime games or JRPGs or those types of games, I'm very particular. So like I started Yakuza 0 because I was like, I'm gonna go chronologically with this series, and I think I was playing Persona 5 while I was trying to play that game side by side, and I was like, this is
wow.
big games.
Yeah,
this is too much
crazy.
Japanese for me.
Yeah,
I was like, I can't.
You messed your own self up with that one. Yeah, that's two gigantic games.
Yeah. So I really, because I know how like beloved the series is.
Yeah.
And I know how people were really apprehensive about Like a Dragon when that was announced, and then people just lost their minds and loved it. So it's a series that. Yeah. Right, so it's a series that I would love to get into, but I would feel like I'm doing it a disservice by not jumping into the original series first. You know?
No, I get you 100%, and I'm kind of like that, where I like to start from the beginning of a franchise. So I'm the same. So that was that, and we have here this game here by partnership with Thunderful, who had the Planet of Lana this year on Game Pass, which was excellent. If you all haven't given it a try, definitely do.
Beautiful game.
Let me turn the volume on. I think it's okay, right? Should be fine.
Maybe.
Hold on. Let me change my audio settings. Oops. Hold on.
Is this the Ikaro Will Not Die game?
It is. There you go.
I don't know how I feel about this game. It looks fine, but I probably won't play it. That's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a roguelike. So.
Oh, then I definitely won't play it.
Yeah, it's not your style, huh?
No, I like roguelikes well enough. It's just like, if it's a game, I have to be interested in it enough to get into that loop and grind for it. And this looks fine, but I'm not going to do that.
Not really a thing. No, I get you on that. Yeah, so Ikaro Will Not Die, made by Future Lab and published by Thunderful, who has put out some great games again. And it's also a game called Velocity from back on the PS3 days. This game right here, still wakes the deep.
Still wakes the deep. We've seen this once or twice before, I think.
We have. This is the first time I think we've actually seen gameplay though.
Yes.
So you're set in an oil rig, as you can see, is falling apart and it's torn apart, and it's set, I believe, in Scotland, off the shores of Scotland. And honestly, this gameplay trailer here caught my attention heavy, like the atmosphere.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. And that, what is that thing right there? What is that, an alien? What is that?
It looks like some kind of weird, like, ocean plant. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just a giant seaweed monster.
Giant plankton.
For me, this is definitely one that I'm going to play, but it's one where if it wasn't on Game Pass, I probably wouldn't play.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I am with you on that. I think visually it's solid. It's not, like, jaw-dropping or anything. But I think, though, when you get in certain moments, like when they're inside the oil rig, it shines a bit more. So let me see if I can fast forward it a bit. Atmospherically, though, sounds really solid. Sounds like it'd be really creepy.
I was watching this the first time with headphones or earbuds in at work, and there's a bit where the, I guess, Scottish guys, that explains the accent, are like laughing and being like weird demon children over like somewhere off screen. I was like, I don't like this. I'm not comfortable with this right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems like a good. When does this come out? Is this like a Halloween game?
They said it comes out in 2024. They didn't put a specific date to it. Yeah. So, but it does come to Game Pass. So again, PC, it's about that time, brother. You gotta get all on it. Get all in. So this is interesting.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, then we had this right here, which is just a nostalgic kickback right here. RoboCop.
Let's go.
So
Let's go.
I think we've all seen
I've been
enough of this,
watching-
but I'll skip ahead a
Sorry,
bit
go
to
ahead.
gameplay. Go ahead, Red.
No, I'm sorry. I just wanted to jump because I was like when the game first ever months ago was like a year ago or something was first shown. I was like, God, please be good. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not a huge RoboCop fan, but like I love 80s aesthetic. I love 80s anything. And RoboCop is just so B level. Like
It
and
is.
by the way, I love the 2015. I think it's 20. What is it, 20 or 20?
All the
2012? RoboCop?
the remake or
Dude,
whatever.
Guys, that movie rocks.
Reboot, rather.
I've never watched a movie and then immediately wanted to watch it right after it was
I've
over.
never
It
watched
was
that
so
one
good.
because I thought it was blasphemous to see it. I didn't know.
That's what I thought too. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, man. And they got the perfect actor.
Kinnaman, right?
Oh my God. Yes. Yeah.
I had just
from-
watched him in Altered Carbon off Netflix.
Yes,
What?
Altered Carbon and
Talking about
and
Joel
um,
Kinnaman?
Yeah, Joel Kinnaman.
Suicide
Joel
Squad?
Kinnaman. Thank you. There
Yeah,
you
he
go.
is off
yeah.
Suicide Squad. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he was in Suicide Squad and all that, and yeah, he's like the perfect like Peter Weller embodiment.
I have to
for-
check it
for
out now
RoboCop.
because you're the like
It's-
fourth
it's so
person
good.
I've heard said this movie was actually good.
Dude, it rocks, man. It's so good. Like I just and they do things where you're like, I'm curious. What if RoboCop's like I don't know. They do some things like that pique your curiosity. Like I didn't think I wanted to see that. That's really disturbing, and I love it.
Okay, I got to check it out. You know what? I'm going to watch it
yeah.
tonight. How about that?
Dude,
I'll
do
let
it.
you know.
Do it, man. Yeah, let
You
me know how
can't
you feel
stop
about
me.
it. Yeah.
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 So-
I'll try.
So
Um,
RoboCop
I've been watching
is
the
developed
originals.
by Taeyon and published by Netcon. Now this here is Dungeons of Hinterberg. Not sold on this just yet. It's
I'm not sold on this at all.
It's described as a single-player mix of action RPG and a social sim, rather, where you get to explore dungeons, solve puzzles, and slay bosses. It's arriving in 2024. Look at those nasty spiders. And on Game Pass, it's developed by Microbird OG. Not that sold on this. I don't know. Not. I don't think it'll be for me, but I might give it a shot just because it's coming to Game Pass. I'll say that
Yeah.
much.
I don't think it looks like a bad game,
Right.
but it definitely looks like a game that I will skip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I look at a game and I'm like, if there's nothing else for a prolonged period of time, I might jump in on this, but I know
Right.
that that's not going to be the case.
If this were 2022, maybe this would have had a chance.
Maybe.
Yeah. So then we have here Spirit of the North.
There we
Oh,
go.
now he's back.
I think-
Now we can hear you again.
Oh,
I
it
think
cut out
your
for a
internet
second.
might have dropped for a second because
Ah, crap.
the stream started buffering too.
Okay, that would explain it. You might,
Yeah, we're back.
because it was buffering on my screen just now too for the video. Sorry about that. But yeah, Spirit of the North is another interesting third-person adventure game. I don't know. Maybe it might be emotional. Of course, here's Metal Gear Solid Delta.
Oh,
Made
it
in
looks good. Might cry.
Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine 5, baby.
Bro,
This guy.
it looks so good.
It looks
Look,
damn
Snake
good.
Eater's the best Metal Gear, and I will fight anyone who disagrees.
I am so with you. I'm so
a remake
with
of
you.
that. I'm here for it. I hope that
As long as they do it right.
Yeah, I really look forward to seeing the dumb nonsense of a guy shooting bees out of his fucking arms.
Yeah, exactly.
in
Or like
8K.
changing your
Can't wait.
time zone to where you beat a boss, but when he dies of old age.
Yeah.
Nice.
Dude, it's a real thing. Man, Metal Gear Solid 3 is like
Giant
so
enemy
many-
crab. Throwback. No, this,
Oh, okay.
this does look pretty good. I will say.
Bro, it's yeah. Look at that environment with the pain,
The pain.
and they're
yeah.
inside the cave. Oh, bro, like this game is like my childhood, dude. Like,
Yeah.
there's so much. From what I understand, they're not doing anything different with voiceover. They're actually bringing in the HD up-res audio and just porting it over to this game.
Really?
So everything will be original. What's different is the gameplay and the visuals, which is a huge upgrade, as we can see. So
Man,
that's what
yeah,
I'm really
okay.
excited about.
All right,
Yeah.
big boss.
I'm 100% in on this. Like
Yeah.
this is probably a day
Yeah.
one for me.
So this
Same.
right here is Manor Lords, which is new to us. We hadn't heard about this, well, at least I hadn't. It's a, I guess, a top-down kind of strategy type game, right?
Yeah, it's like a medieval city sim / RTS.
Yeah, that's what it is. RTS. Thank you. So it's coming to PC Game Pass, as you can see. I don't have any interest in this because the last time I tried to play a game like this, what was it? Not Kingdom. What was that game?
Kingdom Come Deliverance?
Not Deliverance either, but it was a RTS type game. Was it Age of Empires? It was one of those games.
I mean, there was
Oh
Age
man,
of
you can't
Empires.
get an
Are you
Age of
thinking
Empires, man. That's
are
a
you thinking of,
classic.
like,
They-
Total
yeah.
War Medieval or
They kicked my ass, and I was reliant on my brother Jedi Knight Peter to save me. And I'm like, who am I going against, the Mongolians? Because they kept tearing me apart. I'm like, this is enough of this.
It feels a lot like
Yeah, that
Age of
game
Empires.
takes time to learn, but once you do learn, you can like get into it, man. It gets so addictive. I have so many wasted hours on Age of Empires and Rise of Nations back in the day.
Nice.
I'm a Total War guy myself, but I will fuck deep with any RTS. I'm really big on it. But this one, I don't know how much it speaks to me, because I'm looking at it in the city, like town sim thing aspect of it. It looks fun, but I don't know. It concerns me where it's like, do I need to? If I have to build an army, do I have to like make sure all my people are happy enough to have kids so that I can send them to war? Like, how deep does this sim go? Because
Yeah.
if it's that deep, not interested.
Now I'm interested. Like, you saw the close-ups of them fighting. Is that actually in the game, or is it that like a bit of like a trailer work right there?
No, you can usually zoom in that far. That's pretty standard for like a Total
Yeah, I was
War
gonna say that's
style
standard
RTS.
for Rise of Nations and Age of Empires. You can zoom in, like, and get all
yeah.
close in if you
Well,
wanted
and you can
to.
see
or
that
zoom
they're,
all the way
like,
out.
the bit where they're like maneuvering the different squads or platoons or whatever.
Yeah.
I was
yeah,
curious about that too.
That all looks like gameplay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can do
Have you
formation
guys
and stuff in Age of Empires, so I'm guessing it would be similar there.
So this
Yeah,
right
you
here,
did
the
pretty
finals. Sorry to cut you off. Well, the
No.
finals here. Now, this is
Okay.
available for beta right now. If you guys don't know this in the chat, and you guys on the panel here, you can get it on the beta. However, when I got it and tried to load it up, the game closed on me like 10 times in a row. I just closed. I just shut my Xbox off and kept moving. It would not load up for me. Don't ask me why. I don't know what's going wrong, but it didn't work. But it looks incredibly fun, and the destruction and destructibility in it is insane.
Yeah, I don't usually care about this kind of game, but for some reason the like game show aspect of it really vibes with me in a way that I don't understand.
Yeah,
So I might play with this.
same. And I like the destructibility. It's kind of like that promise we had with Crackdown, but now fully realized now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like the announcer. I hope that's in game. I guess we'll see.
Yeah. This kind of looks like what PlayStation is hoping to get with one of those games that they showed. They showcases actually.
Oh, the like fair games.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even the music sounds similar.
It does kind of, doesn't it?
Yeah. So
I think that's the problem with all these games. They all almost look the same.
yeah,
You know,
Yeah, that is
between some of them.
that's-
Like, what's that one game, Hyenas? I mean, this kind of looks like that
Just
game
got
in a way
canceled.
too.
Yeah, that one's not even coming out.
Yep, true. Oh, this looks pretty interesting right there. Now, this game here, I had never really played much of it. I got a few friends who, and they love it. Unreal Engine 5 again. Shout out to Unreal Engine. Beautiful. Game looks gorgeous. So with this, are you guys interested in this type of game? Are you going to get into this world?
No. That's all I got.
That's not my type of game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't play survival games.
But cheers to anybody that does like those games. I know a few people that have put a ton of hours into this franchise because they just like it that much.
Yeah, I got a few buddies who put hundreds of hours into this. I don't know. I feel like I get thrown off a little bit because it's like I see all the Jurassic dinosaurs and everything
Yeah,
going around. Then I got
it looks
guns
cool.
and flying around on a pterodactyl. I'm kind of confused by
There
the.
must be another layer that we just don't see. That must be what it
Yeah.
is.
I'm gonna
So I don't see. All I see is just dinosaurs. Like, look at the animation of the whatever this thing was.
Yeah,
I was like, what is this?
and
But you know,
that's
people love it.
one thing I'll point out with you. Like visually, it looks good. However, the animations for the people looks
awkward,
weird. Yeah. So we'll see how it plays out. I'm going to find out what happened to Vin Diesel. Where's Family Man?
Right? Yeah.
And what if he ends up being like a
Family.
boss? You got to fight.
I think they ran out of budget for him.
exactly. Yeah.
I think he was just the budget to get everybody excited for the game, but they can actually get him into the game.
They tricked
What
us.
it's so random. It's so random.
Right.
Like, it's
Family.
family, and then it's like Arc 2, the Visa, the Needling.
Yeah. It's visually gorgeous though. I think I might just give it a try just because it's going to be in a game preview and Xbox on the Game Pass. So yeah, I think I'll give it a shot.
I guess it can't hurt to jump in on, but yeah, it's definitely not like my type of game.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact.
And the final game of the showcase, of course, is Alan Wake.
Baby.
So I don't.
This gameplay looks good as hell. I'm so excited.
It does look good. I'll read up a little bit on the synopsis. So it's back from, of course, 13 years in the making. It's been since we've had the last one. It says a sequel to 2010's Alan Wake. The story follows best-selling thriller novelist Alan Wake, who has been trapped in an alternate dimension for 13 years as he attempts to escape by writing a horror story involving an FBI agent named Saga Anderson. Very creepy.
My cat's name is Saga.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This game.
Seriously, yeah. My cat's name is Saga.
Nice.
Saga and Benson.
Okay.
Because Saga has a long tail. That's why I named him. Get it?
The saga continues.
Because his tail's so long. So it's a saga.
Makes sense.
So it's a long.
Because his
Why you make him like
tail
Howie
long.
Long or something?
TALE tail. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I think this looks great. I think honestly, there's a very solid chance that this ends up being my game of the year. I'm really excited for it. I hope I don't get disappointed. All the reviews are good. I don't know what effect is going on with the lady in the gameplay of this, where she's like folding in on herself.
Oh,
it's insane.
it's coming
Makes
up
me
right
very
now.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love it so much. It's literally already installed on my Xbox, and I'm just waiting for midnight. Although I
Just
won't be
waiting to
able
get
play
in
it
on
because
it.
I have to work early tomorrow.
I got my
Yeah.
brother Cap. He's in the same boat as you. He feel like it's going to be his game of the year. He's been super excited for this to come back. He shed tears actually when they announced this at the game show. For I think they announced it at Sony's, right?
Yeah, I didn't get super excited at the announcement of it because if you had played the Control DLC, you already knew it was coming. Because they Alan Wake spoilers, I guess. Alan Wake shows up in that and is like, "I'll see you in the next one, maybe." And then,
Nah.
Oh, brother.
Yeah, take me to
Nah,
Alan Wake
see?
2. So it was pretty obvious at that point that they were going to do an Alan Wake 2.
Yeah.
But I'm all over it. I couldn't be more excited for this.
No, it looks damn good. Looks very creepy. I am not usually into type of like super creepy games like this, although I did enjoy the first Alan Wake, so I definitely will get into it. I don't know when though, because I got too much to play.
Man, I'm just waiting for the physical release thing. I get it. We're going towards the digital future. I'm not ignorant, about the future of digital only. Like I understand, so I'm not over here like make a stand, people, make the change. I sound like Goofy all of a sudden.
I disagree. Do make the stand. Don't
But
go quietly.
Don't go quietly into the night.
Like,
Yeah.
bro, because guys, I've got the Steelbook collection that I got to keep going. Like I'm supporting that as hard as I possibly can, but
Yeah. I don't
am
buy
so
everything
excited for
physical, but this is 100% one of those games where if there was a big ass collector's edition for this, I would have bought it. So it's
Nice.
really they're losing my money.
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, guys, look, me and Danny over here would have given you a solid $80 or something.
100% would have been
Come
like
on.
it could have been a statue of Alan sitting at a typewriter, and I would have been like, yes, $100.
Sitting on a
please,
toilet
there
with a
you go.
typewriter.
Yeah, with
Exactly.
just like
That would've
a
been
stack
great.
of coffee thermoses from the first game.
Oh, I know.
He's like, I had to poop because I drank all this coffee.
That'd have been enough for you.
I
That's all it would
was
take.
my partner and I, like I said, I've been playing it, and she's been like sort of watching and playing along, and I'm like, let me see what's over here, and she's like, honey, stop. I'm like, there might be a thermos. Damn, if there ain't a thermos around every
Yeah, there
damn
is.
corner in that game. Oh, it feels so good. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Looks good. Super
The
excited.
lighting on it, the effects and the lighting I don't understand how this game looks like this.
Yeah, it looks.
You know,
damn
you want to
good.
know something crazy, guys? You guys are. I haven't seen anything for this game. Anything.
What do you mean?
Nothing. I have seen the one snippet where Saga comes around the corner. I turned it off there. I have seen the screenshot where it's everything's green
Mhm.
and Alan. It's live
Yeah.
action, and the actor is looking all scared. He kind of looks like Obi-Wan. That's literally all that I've seen of the game because I've been avoiding
who
it
he looks
that
like?
much. I'm like,
He looks like Jake Gyllenhaal.
He does
yeah,
look like
he
Jake
looks like
Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal or
Does
Ewan
like-
McGregor,
yeah.
like mixed.
He looks like a
Yeah.
dirty Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah, I love it. I've been avoiding it because, like, you know, like when you're so in on something and you're like, nope, that's it. I don't want to say anything. Like John Wick 4. I didn't see a single trailer, not a single nothing,
Mm.
nothing, and just going in blind is the best. It's so
Yeah.
good.
There's absolutely some of those game announcements where they just pop up whatever, and it's like, that's all you need. You got my money. Shit.
Yeah. That's yeah.
Like, shit, pre-order now. Yeah, exactly.
You got me.
That's what it's gonna be for me when they announce Fallout 5. I'll be like,
Oh, man.
say less,
Bro.
say
Oh,
less,
yeah.
dog.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, it's gonna happen. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen. But yeah, so
Yes.
that's it for us for tonight, folks. We have to wrap it up here because we've gone on longer than anticipated. It's 9:33 here. Yeah, so we've gone over about 33 minutes, but it was well worth it for the conversations we've had, and I want to thank you guys for being here with us tonight, DC and Red. And of course, shout out to Bad Bit. I got you guys info in our description as far as your Twitter tags. But I do want to get you guys to plug where people can find you, as well as your podcasts and things of that nature. So DC, I'll start with you. Thank you for being here with us tonight, brother. And where can people find you? What will you be up to? And what's name your podcast out for them?
First off, thanks for having me. It's almost a full circle moment because I remember when you were talking about starting up, and I told you, hey, if you start this thing up, I'm gonna support you any way I can.
You sure did.
So it's good to be on here and chop it up about some games. I know we've chopped it up in the spaces a little bit, but it's good to get a little more in depth on here. You can find me on Twitter. I don't have my own podcast or anything like that. I just do features for the most part. So if you're ever looking for PlayStation gameplay, Nintendo gameplay, or even Xbox gameplay, as I start creeping on the PC Game Pass, you'll be able to find that on my Twitter. All I post is games. I'm not with all that other stuff.
There you go.
So yeah,
He said, "Don't come to him with any of the BS." He said.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put you on a poster in your Whataburger Spider-Man suit. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Worse yet, he'll wear the last suit forced on us to punish you and my eyeballs with it. So don't mess with him, because I don't have time for that suit. No, but thanks, brother, for being here. And yeah, like I said, your description is there in the your info rather is in the description. So I hope people will give DC a follow there on Twitter X. Very good dude. And Red, my brother, first time having you on as well. Where can people find you, and what will you be up to? And tell us about your podcast, The Renegades.
Well, I just tried to post it, and it just never works. I don't know how to post my channel, and it's
I'll see
there.
if I can
There
do
it
for
is.
you.
Thank you. I don't know why it doesn't work. I tried it when I was on Gamers Initiative. Shout out to those peeps. Oh my god, that was a hilarious show I was on. But yeah, you can find me at the channel and Twitter, X, Twixter, Red Wolf Renegade. That's it. Red.
Sound
Wolf
like you
Renegade.
weren't sure at first. You like, and
Well, I was
Twitter.
like, I'm trying to be creative. And I want to say it to where everyone can absorb what I'm saying.
Impactful.
You know what I mean? Impactful, impact, progression, or whatever. But yeah, I have a weekly podcast every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a video-oriented podcast, so you can see our ugly faces, and things get really crazy, and it's fun. We talk about gaming 80% of the time, and 20% of the time, it's insanity, and that's my fault, 100% my fault. I also do content about gaming, about games and stuff that I'm gaming.
There you go.
Yeah, so I got some some videos coming up about Cyberpunk and The Witcher and Elder Scrolls and stuff like that. So the channel is really evolving, and the support has been amazing. So follow me there, subscribe, like, and punch me in the nuts. That'd be great.
There you go.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Yes.
You what? But
What?
but no, thank you
You got
for
sub to
being
Patreon for that, or how does that?
there. Right.
No, it's free. It's free.
He's a masochist. That's what he's trying to tell us. No, but thank you for being here with us, brother. Your first time here, and
Yeah, thank
definitely.
you so much.
Oh yeah, definitely got to have you back eventually whenever you're free. And last but not least, Daniel, my co-host, tell everybody where they can find you, of course, and what will you be up to?
You can find me on Twitter at Daniel J. McGee or my personal YouTube channel of Daniel McGee. I'm about to publish my Starfield review, and then hopefully in the next little while I'll be able to get that Black Mask pitch out. I got so much work done on it. I had the last couple of days off work for PTO. I got so much work done on it, and I'm so happy with it. It's honestly pretty rare that I'm like proud of something I've worked on. I'm actually very proud of this. So I hope that people appreciate the ridiculous amount of work that's gone into me making this stupid thing for nobody. But yeah, come by my channel. There's gonna be good stuff hopefully soon.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so you guys make sure you give all our guests here a follow if you have not already, or consider that. And again, Red, and I put Bad Bits earlier in the link, and I'm going to add Bad Bit later once I get a chance to edit this thing to add them in. And just, man, thank you guys in the chat for being here with us and holding us down. It means so many other content creators doing things right now. So it's definitely an honor for, to have you guys here with us and donating. By the way, before I do close, there was a super chat I missed, and I want to make sure I get that off because Drawn TJ gave us a super chat. As I saw it, was like, I'm going to read that next, and then forgot all about it. He said, and let me see if I can find it really quickly.
Yeah, I can do it in Stewie's voice.
You found it? You see it?
Yeah, I see it.
He says, oh my God, listen, PlayStation only has Bugman this year. Bugman 2.
Right. So yeah, shout out to TJ. Thank you for the donation, brother. He gives a generous $2 donation to us. We appreciate you. But yeah, thank you guys in the chat for being here with us and holding us down. We're going to get out of here. I want you all to have a good night. And we'll talk with you later. Later, guys.
Love you.
Peace. Have a good one.
That was creepy.